Hey everybody, we're back! Finally! It's been many weeks. Camera's over here now, I gotta stop looking over this way. We're back! It's been forever. I miss you all so very much. We had a great time on Saturday with the return stream. I ate like 52 bean boozleds. I threw up after. It was rough. I felt like shit all day Sunday. It was like, it was pain.
Whoever made a Band-Aid flavored bean needs Jesus.
Needs to reassess their life choices. Yeah.
You
it's
ate
not even Band-Aid. It was old bandage. That's the worst part. Yeah, I did. There was a lot of booger flavored ones. I got one pair, and the rest were all booger. Old sock I've learned to deal with at this point. It's like the third fucking time.
A sentence you never thought you'd say.
So never, not in all of my years of life. Or
Rusty's a foot person now.
On this planet of Earth, I do like feet now. It's official.
It's now official. Sponsored by WikiFeet.
Oh God, no! No, not WikiFeet, dude. All right. Well, thank you, Kieran and Grim, for the raid. We appreciate you guys swinging in bright and early, right at the start of the stream. Where the fuck do we start? It was crazy little bit. We love cat cam. We love cat cam. Look at that. There's Stanislav, the kitty.
That's Stu.
Gross feet.
Yep, perfect cat loaf. I baked him perfectly.
So, where did we leave off? Last I can recall, it's been like 4 weeks. I'm like a little out of it. You guys left Southwatch and traveled along the road through the Incendus mountain range towards the city of Pillarstone, and more importantly, the ancient ruins of the city of Adroch, which lay just to the south of the capital of the Imperium here. However, on that travel, a couple of little issues ensued. First, with a number of strange abomination-like creatures, and then the following day, a sandstorm quickly met by an Imperium checkpoint, in which a series of deception checks were just dramatically failed.
I rolled in that one.
The party's less than inconspicuous traveling methods and nighttime watching methods by Gregory, not exactly traveling as incognito as perhaps you had initially hoped when you left Southwatch. Unfortunately, thank you for the subscription, Rogue. We appreciate you. Thank you for swinging in. I appreciate you. It would have been better if Mr. Makers had been there to lie. Unfortunately, Mr. Maker was unpresent. To retcon that and figure out what that shit was. So just me in the process of moving a little out of it, kind of space heady. Lineax and Mr. Maker, the morning of the sandstorm, told the party that they were going to go further up ahead into the mountains and scout the path for the way on. And that is where they were when the party was unfortunately captured. And this is mostly because I was just not there mentally during the moving process. If you're all interested in seeing what happened to Mr. Maker and Lineax during that time, I'm currently editing a little video that Hellscorp and I recorded last Monday for YouTube. So we're going to be throwing that on there. Probably going to be a couple hours, just a nice session between me and Hells and his journeys through the mountains while the party is being captured and press gagged into slavery. Yeah. What's up, Spicer? Stream's going good. We're just getting started. We're just rolling, baby.
Press ganged.
Whatever, dude. Do you think I care? Do you think I care? Do you really think it's a good idea to correct the DM mid-intro while you are a prisoner of war? Like, you really want to go there? Let's go. I'll throw down.
I myself am personally a prisoner of war.
As you hear a knock,
you
hear a knock on your door. So I'm just fucking. Yeah. I have many powers, my friend. No, you're not wrong. Thank you for correcting. So the party traveled for a little while longer now, in chains and under the watchful gaze of the Imperium soldiers who had captured you. Eventually, at the end of the session, after a few days of traveling on the desert road, without water or food, just in the back of the carriage that had once offered safe refuge to the lot of you, arriving as you kind of come down the last cliffside road down towards the kind of a very small coastal desert in which Pillarstone waits for you, quickly turning to the right and seeing before you the great sprawling, almost tent city, haphazardly thrown together buildings and just almost an army look of tents, completely fenced in by a massive palisade, all with spikes facing inward towards the denizens of this village. And you have, or had, arrived at the slave encampment of Adroch. Kind of took the name from the city by which it shares a border a little bit there. On either side, you see the massive excavation pit where the ruins of this once ancient celestial elven city, oh, Stuart, oh, that's cute, lays in ruins, almost entirely excavated at this point. You see scores of researchers and, of course, individuals in chains such as yourselves leaving and coming to the encamp as your carriage pulls you into the front area. At which point you are greeted with the sight of several very uniform-looking buildings, all just lining a series of roads that weave throughout this encampment. It's massive. Even when you were told, even calling it an encampment is a little inaccurate in the sense, because looking at the sheer population and scale of this place, it is a town, if not a small city, made up entirely of individuals enslaved by the Magus Imperium, some of whom work in the quarry to the southeastern side of this place, and some of whom work in the excavation to the northeast. You are removed from the carriage. All of you have just acquired a point of exhaustion during this travel. You have not been fed. You have not been given water. What sleep you have got has been under either the scorching desert sun or the frigid desert nights, and sleep has not come easily to any of you. Gregory, Stanislav, your very ability to cast and do magic and perform the wondrous feats that you're all so accustomed to performing is gone. The minute that collar was slapped around your neck and sealed with the arcane lock that holds it in place, your powers were gone, dissipated.
Honestly, if I don't have the box or the mask, I'm just a boy.
Yeah, those were both also taken. Gregory, now a boy barely 16 years old. Stanislav, just a normal... You're muted again.
I must get Stanislav's back.
Mantuka, however, looking the worst of all of you. Having taken the most grievous injuries in the previous battle, knocked unconscious and on the very, very brink of death, Mantuka has been barely conscious for the duration of this trip. It's kind of passing in and out in these brief moments of clarity. A couple times you're worried you might have lost him on the road, but as you kind of shake him awake, he maintains. As you guys arrive at the encampment of Adroch, you're unloaded from your carriage and brought into what appears to be a large processing room of sorts. They have a number of tables with clerks. There's lines of prisoners who looks like they're all new arrivals, just came in this morning, all waiting their assignments and what it is they're supposed to be doing here. So you kind of find a place in the queue, the shackles around your wrist. Mantuka, you're jostled awake, barely able to stand, with guards at either side of you holding you in place. They're not taking any chances with you in particular. Poor Mantuka. Fair. Sorry, I'm kind of missing the chat. I'm just trying to get through a little bit of exposition here. The three of you, all in separate lines from each other, feeling very normal and powerless, advance forward in these queues until you're greeted by a fairly nondescript clerk, each of you. They're all fairly similar, all wearing the exact same uniform, kind of this off beige robe, very Imperium style. You see the very stereotypical symbol of the Magus Imperium branded on their lapels. Each of them takes the time to take your signature, write down the details of yourself, Stanislav, your horns, your shiny golden hair, your bright, lustrous golden skin. Mantuka, all the details for you as well. Horns, fur, hooves dipped in molten iron, long since hardened. Gregory, child.
Basic bitch.
Yeah, like as
Gregory,
what
child.
I fill his paperwork out for him as his legal guardian.
Gregory, what strikes you as maybe a little surprising, if not a little disconcerting, is the person who looks up and sees a child standing in front of them seems very nonplussed about it. They do not even seem to register that as an important detail.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that is a pretty common thing here. And if anyone wants to, go ahead and roll me a history check.
You're gonna learn today, baby Gregory.
Sorry, what type of check? History?
History, yep. What's up, Kayla?
Natural 0.
Natural 0 from Stanislav.
Oh, we're 7 and a 0. Come on,
I
Mantuka.
pass out from trying to.
Stanislav's like, eh.
Vein pops in my forehead. I have an aneurysm and I die. New character time.
Okay, Greg, Stanny,
Get one of the clerks.
I want to say,
Yeah.
fucking Stanny, roll it with advantage because you've been enslaved in the Imperium before. You're very familiar with it. I'm gonna give you a freebie on that one. Thank you for the shout out, Zaves. I appreciate you. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 3. Wait. I mean, to be fair, it is technically infinitely better.
You're also both all
True.
of you exhausted, so that should have been a disadvantage. But it's bad
So
enough.
take the 0 then.
We're just gonna leave it, and we're gonna give Mantuka a freebie on this one. So, you don't know a lot. None of you know much. Okay, I'm good with that.
I ain't no shit.
None of you know a whole lot about
Press
it.
bogus.
Mantuka, you've worked as a mercenary in and around the Imperium enough to know that this place in particular does outsource a lot of its guard work to mercenaries. None of the guards are within, apart from this one building that you've seen so far. From what you know, this place is old, almost as old as the Imperium itself, probably only a couple hundred years younger. The Imperium's been around about 3,000 years now. This site was founded when the first ruins of Adroch were founded, when the first ruins of the Undara people were located. And since then, it has grown. And over the course of several thousand years, has grown from a small camp of a few mine workers to what is essentially a bustling, small-sized city. It has a pretty big mortality rate, so the population hasn't grown that exponentially. But you know it is old enough that there's an entire portion of the population that has been born in and raised entirely within the walls of this encampment. It is that old. It has
That's
stood.
fucked.
It is pretty fucked. I know. I went to some dark places writing this part
love
of the campaign.
it.
It's a little
so
hard.
good.
It's a little hard. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm
Hey, man,
gonna
it's
relay that
not
entire
deep.
message between sleeping and whatnot to the party out loud.
It's funny that you're
As a
like on the
monologue.
brink of death and just like, hey, this place old as fuck.
Hey, by the
Let me give you a history lesson.
We gotta hydrate everybody.
Serve your strength, Mantuka. I have a smoothie for that. I hope
Hydrate,
that's okay.
bitches.
Smoothie is acceptable as long as it's not like alcohol passes too. Fuck it. Let's dehydrate up in this
coffee.
bitch. Coffee's good. I got Rockstar. I don't feel like that really.
I also have water, but I'm choosing coffee.
That's fair. What's the difference really? What's the difference?
What is love?
All right. So you all go through this process. It takes a while. Following which you are brought into a adjoining chamber and is basically deloused, and cleaned and scrubbed with very bristle brushes. I'm not gonna go into any more details than that.
This is unnecessary.
Lower,
I'm perfect.
lower.
Don't need to clean me. Don't you worry.
You don't.
I'm immune to all disease. And I'm
Yeah, no, they don't care.
Use the elbow grease.
Also,
I'm
We
still
you'll
don't-
notice.
complaining.
You notice the necklace. All of your magic is suppressed. All of it.
Joke's on you, can't suppress it, I don't have it. Ha, 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 ha.
So I'm not currently immune to disease.
Nope. That is a magical ability tied to you being a paladin. All of that has been stripped away. You are
Yep.
now a guy with muscles.
Oh, I'm still doing that because I'm not aware of
Common
the
folk
extent
are-
of it.
Yeah, you're a very beautiful guy with muscles. Still very attractive. Arguably a little BDSM now, so can't really go wrong. So, you guys are all
I'm
processed
actively trying to catch people staring at me.
and cleaned, and then you are left in the charge of what appears to be members of this camp. Probably been here quite a while. They're quite gruff in their appearance. They are wearing armor, which strikes you as odd. Not something you would commonly see within a slave encampment. They are pretty quick to make their methods known to you as they roughly and without any manner of politeness whatsoever begin shoving you all in separate directions. If you begin to resist,
What?
they push harder. If you struggle,
Dan?
are you struggling right now?
I stopped for a second. Yeah, whenever
As
that
you
was
stop,
being pulled.
You just feel a smack come just right across the side of your face. As
Gregory,
you
do what they
held
say.
there, and
Okay,
you are
okay.
dragged far away from you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Anyone touches my butthole. No butthole touch.
That's the last thing I hear while I'm being dragged away.
as you're being dragged away. No one better touch my butthole.
Oh,
You're
man,
the three of
Tuka will be
you.
fine.
Oh my
Anything
God.
recognizable about their armor?
It's no. There's no insignia on it. It's pretty haphazardly thrown together from what looks like scraps of possibly old armor, maybe just straight up pieces of leather.
So maybe like riot cops. Or
kind
something
of,
like that.
but they definitely don't have the appearance of an organized force beyond that they're organized isn't the word. They're definitely organized, but it seems like more of a gang-like aesthetic.
They
You'd
seem
understand
more civilian than properly trained
They're
guards.
they
Sort
seem
of.
like criminals who have kind of.
Yeah.
You guys failed all of your history checks substantially. Mantuka got a little freebie. You'd understand a little more, but basically it seems like a lot of the day-to-day security and running of things inside of this encampment is left to this almost gang-like enterprise. You all would understand a little more about that if you'd rolled better, but you didn't, so I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm only getting that because I've experienced the
Yeah.
the Imperium slave camp before.
Yeah, this is like, at this point, it's definitely very clear to you that this is big.
Very different.
This is large beyond anything in the Imperium. This is a city all in. It basically has its own internal power structure, police force, the whole 9 yards. Literally.
Maybe a bit easier to slip through the cracks.
Yeah. Where am I going? 1 second. I need to pull. I have a map.
Hatching a dastardly plan.
I have a map for this, and I forgot to pull it up.
And sanitizing my hands.
Why?
The fuck?
Where the fuck did my map go? I just sent it to Hells today.
It's the best part about hospitals. Everybody looks like they're hatching a
I can just
dastardly
go in.
plan.
I can go into my chat with Hells and just
Using hand sanitizer all the time. Yes, I'll take his liver and take his kidneys, and then
Have you been following your diet?
I'll...
Why are you guys being creepy? It's in our chat. Yeah, I got it. Go to my downloads. And drag it over here.
My dad used to have a dentist named
Doesn't
Dr.
need
Payne.
doesn't need a description. I would not go to that dentist. Ever. Not in a million.
Apparently, it was
fucking-
really good.
Not in a million years would I ever go to that dentist.
Dr. Payne, of course.
This can upload as well. There we go.
I want to write a musical about that doctor.
So again, like back in the fucking swing of doing the
Yeah, they
streams
did. It's
and
called
shit.
Sweeney Todd.
We love Sweeney Todd. We love.
I am your
loves.
dentist.
Wait,
Nice.
Why did my PDF not load? What the? I will end you.
Cookie break.
Yeah, you have a cookie break. There, you've earned it. So you deserve it.
What kind of cookies do you? Oh,
You say
celebrations.
This is a
Nice.
JPEG. I can't. Damn it.
What's up, Creep Show?
With
Thanks
the
for
caramel.
Hey, creep. Thanks for the lurk. Appreciate you. Just trying to get a fucking map situation dealt with right now.
I'd begin attempting to fight everybody in my. No, just kidding.
Here we fucking go. We're going down.
Anyway,
the
so I
gauntlet.
start blasting.
So I started blasting.
Loading a shotgun. Shame.
There we go. Boop. Thank you for the show.
Sure is a shame we don't got magic.
You gonna work? You gonna work?
Abracastabia.
Why are we abracastabbing people?
ain't got no
Abracadabra,
magic.
abracablam.
Alakablam. Abracastabia alakablam.
I like
Yes.
that.
Merch.
I just
Get
want
that
to-
on a beanie.
I just want
That's
Eh.
artificer magic right there.
Okay, well that's not gonna load. I suppose I,
I'm
can
not
show
wrong.
it here.
Abracastabia.
That's true.
Blam.
Why isn't the fucking PDF? Okay, well apparently Roll20 is just deciding to be a poo today. It's just doing its thing. So
Roll 20 be
Artificer
roll
beanie.
20ing.
that is true. That is kind of the artificer's whole thing. It do be doing that sometimes. They say it don't be, but it Scooby Dooby.
It's Scooby Dooby like that.
I don't know where my PDF went. Okay, what's Plan B? How do I plan B this?
You go to the pharmacy.
Wow. Okay. Jesus.
That one took me a second, but I got there.
That was a good one. It was a good one. I just want to export it. I just want to make it a fucking JPEG, dude. Fuck off.
A real knee slapper.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna give up on that. So if you guys look on stream, because you guys have the stream open, the map is there. Alternatively, I suppose I could send it in the Discord chat. But basically, to everyone in chat now, you can see it too. You come in this northern gate here. Let me know when y'all got it up. You got it? Okay. You come in essentially this northern gate, and you're processed in these two buildings here. And then the rest of the party splits as we kind of come off to the main roads. You guys are all stationed or camped at different ends of this camp. Gregory is taken to the northeastern side. Mantuki, you find yourself a little more towards the southern end, and Stanislav towards the southwest. You notice all of the buildings here are very uniform. They're like almost identically built all the way. Gregory, however, you notice one section that stands out. The buildings are a little taller, a little more sturdily made out of stone, and the roofs where the others are mostly thatch do appear to be a kind of darker shingle. Go ahead and roll me a perception check if you don't mind.
Me?
No, Gregory. I just want my PDF to...
12.
Oh, it goes in here. Oh, hold up. I can fix this.
Oh.
Might be able to fix this.
Boop.
Can I? Is it going to be that easy? Is it not going to be that easy? Be that easy for me, please. You're not going to do it. Go to play. Oh, okay. I'm annoyed. I can usually get Roll20 to do what I want it to do. Now it's not doing it anymore. It makes me sad.
It's asserting dominance on you.
It is. I'm currently being asserted upon. I gotta say I don't like it. I don't very much like it at all. Either way.
Buy me a drink first. Roll 20 G.
So Gregory, what'd you roll?
12.
12. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of the map now. You guys have seen it. I'll also send a copy in our Facebook chat so you guys can view it. Normally I'd have it uploaded, but for some reason it didn't want to work, and that is upsetting to me.
C'est bon, c'est vrai.
I usually have Roll20 unlocked.
Tabernacle, qu'est-ce que fuck?
It's good.
It's like it's being sassy because we took a break. It's like it's feeling neglected, and where it's like we have a life. Roll 20. We got things to do.
There you go.
Fuck. That's my next character. I don't know who that was, but I like them.
They just manifest at this point. Chase that. All right, you guys are good. There you go. The map's in there. So, like I said, you come in this northern thing. You're all processed and split up separate. This is the first time you all have been apart in several weeks. Gregory, this is your first time separate from the party. This is the first time, really,
being alone
since you've been alone since you left home. When
Gregory's
you left,
not dealing well with that.
Nope. When you left the Fangtusk Caverns, you basically had company most of the trip. This is the first time where you've truly been separated from everything, and the only company you currently have is the one very burly, kind of hairy-looking human who is just escorting you to your space. And you're just brought to a very nondescript building with no identifiers on it. They haven't labeled any of these. Like, it's basically you're shown it once, and if you forget where you live, you're fucked, kind of deal. And the door opens, and you're led into a it was essentially just like a 30-foot by 30-foot long house, 30-foot by 40-foot long house with just wooden bunk beds that line the walls. They're hung by chains. They're about 3 high. They don't look comfortable, but they don't look particularly uncomfortable. There's like one person per bunk. It's not overcrowded to the point of like being terrible. It's definitely like a prison. This is literally like a prison. It's not.
They don't want us to die so that we can keep working.
Exactly.
Right.
It is not built for that. You have a blanket, a very basic straw pillow, and like the blanket lays on top of some straw that has been put on these fairly haphazardly thrown together wooden bunk beds. Then the sets go around, and then within the middle of the room, you see several just like freestanding bunk beds, not hanging from chains, also going 3 high. There's not a lot of space to walk or move around in here, but there is space for everyone to sleep, mostly by themselves if they would like to make that choice. Where did my other upload go? I unfortunately can't show you that because it's a map for later. But using your imagination, you get basically what we're going for here. Mantuka, very much the same. You are escorted to a building, nondescript, no labels whatsoever, at the far southeastern end of camp, where you're shown inside. And for you, for Gregory, it's like he can comfortably sleep in one of those beds fairly reasonably. For you, being as girthy as you are, it's gonna be a very tight fit. Even as you kind of have to hunch your way in the door, you're shoved into this space, kind of bonk your head on the way past. They just unshackle your monocles and let you have free range of your hands, and then leave, and you're just left alone in this building. You gather it's the middle of the day still. There's practically no one here. The streets are more or less empty, apart from these kind of security force individuals, we'll call them. They don't speak to you much, apart to occasionally bark in order, or if you resist, kind of shove you around. They're not an overly talkative bunch. They do seem to have combat knowledge. Like, they don't carry themselves like civilians, but they don't carry themselves like military or mercenary that you've ever seen. It's definitely, these are people who have probably stabbed people in dark alleys for their wallet kind of people. More or less, seem to be very, very criminal in the way they handle things. Like, they do not carry themselves with any demeanor that would suggest military to you. And you're just left alone. There's no one shows up to guide you. No one shows up to tell you what it is you're supposed to do. You are just left within this cottage. Stanislav, very similar experience for you as well. You're brought to the southwest side of camp, my bad. And very, very, very hurriedly shoved into this room. Same thing. Bunk beds hanging from chains, normal beds hanging from chains. It reminds you very much of your time in the Ludus, where you trained to be a gladiator. It's not entirely uncommon. It may be a little nicer. It's like on
this
par.
Is maybe a little nicer.
Yeah,
more or less the same.
The gladiator school you trained at had like stone beds, or the floor. You did not have a bed unless you were like an elevated, like a champion of some kind. Yeah, it's not the worst.
No one recognizes me. It's a shame.
It's a shame.
I left my belt at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and you too are left just alone in this building. There's no one here.
No other prisoners either?
No. The three of you all stand, and
right.
You're almost taken aback by how silent this, what you saw to be a small city, is. Barely a sound. Is there anything you'd like to do with your day? You seem to be free to do with your time what you will, for at least for now.
Is the door locked from the outside?
You go over and check. No. Mantuka, what's up?
Do we have our stuff?
Nope. All of your stuff was confiscated. You are basically wearing your loincloth and nothing else. You were offered very rudimentary prisoner garments, like cloth pants and shirt. Whether or not you take them, entirely up to you. I know how Mantuka like to roll.
Yeah.
I got you. I know you.
Cool.
I took just the pants.
Mm-hmm. You tried to put the shirt on, Stanny, and as you stretch, just ripped. Those. Nothing. Gregory, on you, again, something that strikes you as bad. I don't even know what the word is here.
They don't have child sizes.
Yeah, they do. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, I'm like immediately.
I mean, child is a bit of a stretch. A young
small
teen.
Though.
They do have small. Yeah, they have small sizes, almost as if like people born into this city are basically born into chains. I told you I had to go some real dark places when I was writing this. Like,
I like look over and I see like the sizes get even smaller than mine, and I'm just like,
yeah, there's a cutoff at a certain point, but
thank
you gather they have to clothe everybody here. Like, if someone has a baby, they can't put the baby straight to work in the mines, but baby need clothes. You know what I mean? Oh, there's multi-generational families here. Like, especially the elves. Like, there are several hundred years worth of generations of elves that just live here. This is their home.
Wacky.
I'm gonna go try and find Gregory.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking for my friends immediately. If they're letting me out the door, I look back like 60 times to see if they're chasing me.
No, there is. You just every now and again you see like a pair of those two kind of secure. I'll call them security from here on out because you guys don't know anything about them. That you see them wandering. They're less doing patrols. More seems like they're trying to kill time until they have something to do. You figure like new prisoners coming.
Fuck about us walking around?
No, they don't seem to care at all.
Oh,
everyone, roll me a perception check. Just for starters, everyone roll me a perception check.
Danny's very confused by this.
I told you this is not like any encampment anywhere in the Imperium.
Like shit. Before I leave my house thing,
everybody rolling like shit.
Yeah, I just want to
put at disadvantage too.
Oh yeah,
you're all exhausted.
I want to put like 3 little rocks outside of the door.
Yeah, 3 little rocks outside the door.
I will not remember.
Time to the killing time. There you go. Praise Mogus. Love it. Okay.
I still rolled a 15.
Yeah, that's not bad. Gregory, what's your lowest? 11?
Yep.
And then Mantuka was just a nat 1. So we're just gonna take that. So Stanny, Gregory kind of picks up. You're above a 10, so you pick up on it as well. This entire city is surrounded by a wall, about probably 40 feet high, with spikes all facing inward towards the city. You see on top of the walls at any point basically where there is a corner. It's kind of this like octagonal shape. Basically anywhere there is a corner on these walls, there is a tower upon which a large ballista is mounted, also pointing inward. You see guards in Imperium uniforms walking along the walls on the outskirts, looking down into the city below. You don't see a single one of them within the walls. Greg, you're pretty smart. I'm going to give you this one based just solely on your intelligence and perceptiveness. You're pretty perceptive, too. You figured, as best you can understand it, this prison camp, the city, has grown beyond the Imperium's ability to safely police it. Picture the prison systems in Canada, where you have several prisoners to one guard, and it reached the point eventually that the Imperium realized that it is far easier to just contain the city than it is to police it.
There are prisons that exist like this.
I know. I did my research. I fucking put a lot of time into this.
This is wild. I love it.
So the entire inside. This is why I wanted to do the YouTube thing where we record like your entire time in this camp. I think that's the best way to do it.
It might be multiple arc. This might be a whole arc.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just because of the way the scheduling worked out, I don't have time to fit the arc in here. So it's going to be its own YouTube thing. We hope. I'm really excited to do that. So, as best you can figure out, again, you're fairly intelligent. The gang members or individuals you see walking around seem to be the ruling body, in a manner of speaking. They seem to be the ones who do the policing here, if there is any. They seem to be in control of things. As you're all walking to try and meet each other, Mantuka, I'm not sure what you're doing, I'm sorry. As everyone's doing whatever they're doing, you notice there are a few stations that are heavily guarded. Not by Imperium members, but by the same kind of gang-like force. And those areas are the areas where you can find fresh water. There's about 3 of them in the entire city. All of them are guarded by about 8 to 10 men. All massive, wearing the same armor, with makeshift, improvised, haphazard weapons, like table legs with nails sticking out of them type thing. There's no real steel allowed within these walls. But it seems like the only place that they care to have any level of security is at these water spots, I guess you could call them. Watering holes. Gregory, you also notice there's quite an abundance of them around that area with the black roofs that I mentioned before, which you know is just a little to the northwest of where you're, like, basically you're down here in your house, your cabin, we'll call it, and they're up here, just like across the street and up the ways a little, couple blocks. Seems like that's where they're headquartered for the most part. Mantuka, what are you doing? Are you also kind of looking for your group here? What's the plan?
After I figure out it's like really quiet and whatnot, I'm alone. I'm gonna probably wander outside and kind of get my surroundings and just try to take as much in.
Okay. You pick up on a lot of the same things that Gregory and Stanislav do. You see all of the defenses in this place are pointing inward. In fact, they don't really have anything whatsoever guarding outwards, because who's going to try to break in to an Imperium fucking slave camp? That is not their concern. Their concern is containment. You can't see much else beyond that. You do take in a few of the buildings, like, pretty ramshackly thrown together. They all try to be uniform in shape and size. Some are a little lopsided, some aren't pieced together, some, instead of windows, are just boarded shut, while others have, like, these iron bar prison windows. There's no glass or anything that could be used as a weapon here, apart from, like, again, table legs with nails in them and shit. You do notice outside of, like, the areas where buildings are, and, like, the big open expanses of field or desert that haven't been built on in the city yet, there are just sprawling expanses of tent cities. Like, just tent after tent for people who haven't either found room somewhere else or are waiting for room to open up. But you gather the population of this place has grown so big that even they are now having to camp outside of the assigned living quarters and stuff. There just isn't room for everybody.
Was there a number on my shack so that I can remember which one I'm supposed to be in?
Nope, not a single one.
That's why I put rocks.
Coming in, you would have noticed the buildings were labeled like A1, A2, A3, A4, B1, B2, and, like, that's it. After a certain point, you notice the numbers just stop. Like, they just stopped counting.
Do my best to get a mental image of what mine looks like. So
we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some little fun rolls for that. So it doesn't take you long before you do. Eventually, it's like a big space, but there's only so many empty roads you can walk down before you cross paths with somebody. Eventually, you, Gregory, and Mantuka all kind of converge on this kind of central location that you can see there in the image I showed you.
Baby Gregory, you're still alive.
Yeah.
Mogus has humor.
So, I don't like it here. I think that's kind of an easy thing to tell.
Well, this is weird. It's definitely not normal by any means. The last place I was in had actual Imperium guards everywhere. Everything was closely monitored. I mean, like, there's fucking hardly anybody here except for those weird guard type people.
Yeah, they seem very, very terrifying. I definitely think that we should listen to them. You're right. Everything they say to do, we should do.
Yeah, they're not as... I don't think they're going to be as bad as what I was dealing with before, though.
No? Oh, okay.
Your eyes are drawn to the large red hand mark on Gregory's face. Do with that information what you will.
Oh, man.
Just trust me, the less you resist, the easier time you'll have.
Right.
Goes for you too, Mantuka.
You gonna be okay here? Oh, yeah. Don't die. Please? No?
So, what, we got a plan? What do we
Oh.
For now, there's not really anything we can do. I want to see if my brother is here.
Right.
If anybody else from the Hushroot tribe is here. Maybe see if any of your former people are here.
Yeah. I gotta go see Val. I gotta go find Val. Oh my god.
Is Val here?
I think he could be.
Well, that's a good thing to do, is keep an eye out for anybody that we know. The more people that we know, the more we can get... I'm kind of looking around, keeping this hush-hush. The more we can get in on this. And I think Linex...
And then we start a prison gang! And we fight for dominance until we take over the prison!
Oh, Okay, I'm gonna go carve a teardrop into my cheek.
No, don't.
Oh. Okay.
Trust me, Xanax, it won't be invented for another 2,500 years. You're good.
We've got time.
Motherfucker.
Okay. So, this place is huge. I was just gonna say, should we take a look around for the Hushroot folks? But
I don't think anybody else is here right now. I think they're at work.
oh right,
We got here in the middle of the day.
right. How's that gonna be? How do you remember? Did they make you work at the other one?
It was different for me because I was training to be a gladiator. I think this is more of a mining operation.
Yeah, this is gonna be a lot of digging. I only knew how to dig with my friends in the box, so without my box, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
And I don't know what it's going to be like, but they might have something different for children to do other than the literal mining. Expect it to be tough, but it might not be as tough.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
hoping.
know, though.
Dynamite testing.
Yeah, honestly, I think it might be something like that. They didn't seem very fazed by the fact that I am who I am. You know, I put on a front, but I am a child.
And just remember that they all think of us as expendable.
Oh God,
It's
yeah,
important to keep in mind.
yeah. Okay.
Either assert dominance or take it like a bitch.
Second option, every day, all day.
Well, I think for now we just actually we should probably show each other where we're shacked up.
Oh
And
yeah.
we should probably just try and get as much of a relax in as possible. I'm fucking exhausted.
That's a good idea.
Because we won't get
Literally,
another day like
figuratively.
this. This is a one-off. Tomorrow it really starts.
Yeah. They're really sticking us in different buildings, huh? That seems
Mm.
like a,
Wouldn't you separate the group?
yeah. I would too. Okay. Yeah, I'll show you where I am and we'll take a walk around and see. In case we need to find each other.
Maybe try and get some water. See what these guys are all about.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that first. I'm actually really thirsty.
All
I'm
right.
just kind of realizing now. My face hurts.
Then you get slapped by a bitch.
I want each of you to just roll me an intelligence saving throw. Not at disadvantage, because it's a saving throw. Just to recall where your house was. If it was a fucking ability check, it would be disadvantage. I'm giving you a freebie here. Okay.
That's the best one we've had all night. Thank you, Stan.
10 is fine. 15 is good. Mantuka, you're struggling at that point. Stanny and Gregory, you managed to show each other where your abode is fairly easily. You all take in the increased guard presence around what is labeled on the map as the bazaar, and even as you're looking at it, it looks like there's a number of like shop stalls almost set up, places where people can buy basic goods and necessities and things, all controlled by this gang within the Imperium, all heavily guarded. But you notice the shops are open in the sense like they're currently like not, the tents are not closed that contain them. It's more of a storefront that has like a canopy like that they close at night kind of deal. They are open, but there is no one there to buy anything. There's a few of these gang members just kind of conversing amongst each other. And as you all walk past, kind of taking in the sights, you see them look over you. Fresh meat. And go back to what they're doing. And the rest of you continue. Eventually, Mantuka, with some help from your friends, you find what you think is your abode as far as you can recall. You think you're in the right spot. As far as you all know, you all kind of figure out where each other are living. And then you said you want to go track down some water.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's 3, like I said. There's one up by Gregory's, one kind of in the southeast by where Mantuka is staying, and one that's in the northwest, just like a few blocks north of where Stanislav is. Which one are you choosing to go to? They're all basically the same.
Let's go to the one over by Stan.
The one over by
Yeah.
Stan. Easy enough.
The north one, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's do
northwest. So you make your way to the northwest side of this camp or this small town. And you find what is essentially a well that is surrounded by like another building that is, it's like, looks like it's made of clay, very simple thatch roof. It's like a well house, basically. It's like a well within a structure, basically just so they can keep it guarded. There are 3 guards stationed at the front, 2 on either side of the door, and 1 up there. And on a platform walking around, you see another. Next to that, you see a small encampment of about 4 other individuals. It looks like they kind of just switch the shift every 12 hours, and they all live next to where they guard, more or less. So there's about 8 people here altogether. Varying races, no real like uniformity there. You see some humans. You see what appears to be a few half-elves. You don't see any elves in particular with them, which is odd, as you know elves make up a pretty sizable portion of the labor force here in the Imperium, based on the wars they've been in with the Imperium. A few orcs, and it quite varies. And as you approach, you see this kind of very burly, orcish individual with his arms crossed kind of looking at you, and then out from behind his massive leg, this very small gnomish figure with just like this kind of like skull cap with like the things that hang down on the sides, like the little flaps. He's got a wicked scar down the side of his face that kind of carves into his eye socket a little bit, and like his eye is like a little half closed because of it. You here for some water?
If possible.
Yes, please.
Well, normally the rations are only at breakfast and dinner. You get 2 per day. So what's it worth to you? What's it worth to you? He's very excited at the prospect of having some new people. You can all roll me an insight check if you like.
Sure.
What's up, Jana?
As I'm doing that, what did you have in mind?
Everything has a price if you want extra, you see.
Rolled a 19 and an 18.
Based on your knowledge on how water sales work in the Imperium in general, in particular, you know it's like the most closely guarded commodity that exists within the desert is water. It's literal, it's life. So for them to be selling it and offering it to you outside of what would normally be rationed to you, you gather it's going to have a pretty steep price that is not going to be measured in coins.
So I'm guessing that you want me to do something for it.
Well, you're a couple big, strong guys, and you... Oh, he points to Gregory.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say there's room in the ranks for 2 big, strong, burly individuals such as yourself. And for you. He begrudgingly says to Gregory again. There's a lot of people...
Are we gonna be bouncers?
Bouncers, no. There's a lot of people who owe us money. Who owe us things, who have taken favors from us that they haven't paid back yet. We would like you to find those people and, well, help them realize the error of their ways.
Rocky 1.
That's simple. Consider this an offer of recruitment. The benefit of recruitment is you get all the water you want. All you have to do is what we tell you to. It's usually crushing people who owe us money. Or something.
Yeah, I'm a bit more of a gentle giant than you realize. I don't know if that's for me.
Well, then go
Team huddle away
thirsty,
from...
you fucking idiot. And he just steps back behind the leg of the orc and goes about his
Team huddle
business.
away from sketchy dude.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
we could just, like, come back when it's ration time for water, like...
I think
I'm all
that might
cool,
be
like,
the way to do it.
I'll smash things, but you guys want me to be good, so, like, whatever you guys want.
Yeah, no, I just kind of nod and turn and walk away.
Yeah. I'm like looking back at the big guy and trying to like glance at the little gnome, just get all the features on, and just I'm like, I don't think those are the types that are gonna help us. I thought maybe there was a lead there, but
Full disclosure, there's like an 89% chance Mantuka's gonna fight someone in prison to assert dominance.
we
Trying really hard not to, but just so you know, you're not too put out when it happens.
right. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly,
Break.
Make sure you pick on someone your own size.
right? I look over at Stan and I'm just.
My daddy bull taught me always go for the big ones.
You're not wrong.
He's not wrong.
I look at Stan. I'm just like 89%. He's doing better.
Yeah, I can't count that high. I'm pretty sure it's a large number, but
It's pretty big. He's doing better. I'm proud of him. Look at him go.
Tuca immediately turns and goes in any direction. No.
So,
all right, yeah, I guess we'll finish showing our places, and then I'm just gonna kind of go back to mine and work out a bit and relax.
Yeah, you notice one thing about your homes, the cottages in which you're staying, and the bunkhouses, we'll call them. They are swelteringly hot. They're not particularly well ventilated. They're out in the desert sun. It is deeply uncomfortable. What's up?
Does my racial resistance to heat go away because of politics?
Nope. No, that is a genetic predisposition to being warm and toasty. How much that is going to matter in the long run is up in the air. But it's still uncomfortable. Like, it is, you are resistant to fire. You are not resistant to ball sweat and swass. And just being generally uncomfortable in the heat.
I'm freeballing under the...
Yeah, like your genetic resistance is like, you're used to being in hot places. It doesn't make them any less hot.
No, I know. I'm just not going to be hurt from it over the...
No,
it's quickly. It'll still happen eventually.
It's not so much causing damage as much as it's just going to start to drag on you and cause exhaustion the longer and longer you are actively dealing with it. So
the short workout because I have exhaustion.
So yeah, quick workout. You all
like a
kind
20-minute
split off for
session.
the day, return to your living spaces, and do what you will with the rest of your time. Around the time sun starts going down, not supper time, not when you would traditionally eat, but when the sun finally dips beyond the western horizon, you begin to hear something coming from outside the walls of the camp. A thundering sound of hundreds of thousands of feet, just making their way towards the city. And as the front gates open, you see filing in, thank you for the follow, snail in the sky, you see a group of about probably 6 wide is able to file in through the front gate together, and you all watch as this was essentially a ghost town, excluding the few guards and like what occasional elderly person you saw kicking around. You gather even they are put to work for the most part. You just begin to see the streets filling with people. People begin filing into their bunkhouses one by one, and then all coming out, removing their work clothes for the day, wearing very similar garbs, just a little less dirty, as everyone kind of goes about their business and returns to their bunkhouses. What's up?
As soon as I hear that, can I like make my way as quickly as I can to the front gate and see if I can see anybody that I know?
Sure.
I know it's going to be a long shot because of how many people there are.
Go ahead, roll me a perception check.
My best.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Greg's just sitting on his bed.
At disadvantage. Very much at disadvantage. Everything.
Still a 13, not terrible.
Okay. One second here. I need to get my notes. Okay. You do see a few familiar faces coming through. You see a familiar-looking tiefling, not the one you were hoping for, but one you know. Valzir, the former mentor and de facto father figure of Gregory, coming in. Also a gladiator, fought in the arena, same as you, trained in the same city, under a different master, of course. He's coming in, and at first glance, immediately, you pick up on the fact that he is malnourished. His once, like, rippling muscular form is now wiry and gaunt. There's still power there. There's still muscle, but it is... That's all there's left. There's not an ounce fat left on this dude. It's muscle and bone at this point. And you see him.
Looks like a lightweight MMA fighter.
Yeah, he's covered head to toe in dust. His fingers are bloody from what looks like he's been carrying probably heavy stone all day. You see a couple members of the Hush Root, those you didn't actually get a chance to like interface with when you were in the ruins of Vilsrin there. But you begin to recognize a few people from within the Hush Root, and then finally kind of making his way at the end with his arm just around what appears to be an older gentleman. Looks elvish in nature, the gentleman he's holding. Long pointed ears, white hair that's just hanging low, and it's not a beard as much as it's just a collection of stubble on this man's face, per se. And you see a very familiar purple-skinned individual supporting this old man. You see your brother for the first time in months, or months. Been a while.
I'm gonna kind of slowly wade through the crowd
Yeah, he
over
doesn't
towards
notice
him,
you. He's just got his head down. He's just carrying.
and I'm gonna come up onto the other side of this old man, and I'm gonna put his other arm around my shoulder and say, look across at Ilsevere. Can I give you a hand?
He doesn't recognize you without your accent, dude.
What? Can I give you?
There you go. You said, "Can I give you a hand?"
You a hand.
There you go.
It's not that strong.
He stops for yeah, but there's a difference between "Can I give you a hand" and "Can I give you a hand, sir?"
Okay, I thought I did, but
he recognizes your voice, and as he just stops, entirely dead in his tracks, as he just like slowly looks up, and you see your brother again, where he was once still quite lithe. He's always been a very thin individual, not that strong, more dexterous. There is not much left. His skin is almost hanging loosely off of his face. Like his cheekbones are protruding, his cheeks are gaunt, his eyes are sunken. Ilsevere is was that Ilsevere? I got the name right?
Yeah.
Ilsevere is he looks like shit. He looks worse off than a lot of the other people you've seen. He's got a few open wounds on his back that are familiar looking to you. He stops and he just looks up through this like mat of mud soaked hair and just drenched, and he's like caked onto his face, and he looks up. Oh, not you two. And he just puts his head down and throws his other arm around you and just begins limping wordlessly. And he seems to be
help these few people.
He seems to be leading in a particular direction. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so fucking sorry.
It's a good cry. This is amazing. I've been waiting for this.
Oh god, I'm so sorry.
I'm very happy to see you, brother.
I wish I could say the same. I told you not to get captured again. I told you, brother.
This time it's looking around a little bit different.
You didn't come here for us. He looks like he wants to slap you. Like there's a palpable anger on your brother's face right now that you have not seen since you were kids. You know, if I could, I'd go back and maybe have our parents give you some of my brains. Come with me.
If that were possible. All right.
And he leads you and this elvish gentleman, who you now, like, looking, even for an elf, this motherfucker is old. Like he's wrinkled as hell. His eyes sunken into his face, cheeks gone. People have a fairly uniform appearance in this camp.
You mentioned that there were no full elves in this gang group, right? That we had seen.
You
Are there
see
tons
so
in
many
the crowd?
elves. At least half, if not more, of this entire population is elvish. And you gather that's a good thing for the Imperium. They like having workers who live for hundreds, sometimes thousands of years.
And that don't need as much rest as a normal being.
Exactly. I'm glad you figured that out.
Twisted bastards.
Think about it.
Yeah.
So,
They're kind of the perfect slaves. Just saying.
at that point, the rest of you all file off. You spend some time speaking with your brother as you reunite. He's
Just want to get the lay of the land from him.
He's interested in your story, but you can see that he is having trouble even staying awake at this point. Food is brought to him by this kind of elvish looking woman who looks quite similar to the old man that he was carrying. There's definitely like a family resemblance there. He's brought food, and it's literally just gruel, like essentially flavorless, bland oatmeal, and a very small glass of water. Like just over a shot glass worth, maybe an ounce or two. And as that's handed to him, he drinks the water, but he ignores the food. He doesn't even seem to have the strength to eat that.
You need to eat, brother.
Easier said than done. And you hear as he kind of just flexes his jaw a bit, and you hear a popping sound, like something was broken and didn't quite heal correctly.
Anything I can do to help?
It's a little late for that, I'm afraid. I'll eat what I can. And he awkward, tries to. He gets the food in. He looks quite unhappy with the overall texture and mouthfeel of the gruel, but he eats.
Just don't even chew it, just swallow it.
He laughs. Just for a brief moment, you see a smile appear across your brother's face. And he goes back to eating the flavorless gruel. No food is brought to you. If you want some yourself, you have to go seek it out, probably by where you found water. It did look like there was a bit of a mess set up by each of them where you could kind of gather food. And as you all kind of, for the night, go to whatever water station and mess hall you choose to, you two are given a bowl of flavorless gruel, barely enough nutrients in it to keep you going, and about 2 ounces, like 2 shots worth of water.
I'll get mine and bring it back to Ilsevere and give it all to him.
He refuses it. No. You're going to need it more than I will. It's me.
I believe you, but I think I can go one more night without it, and you need it more than I do right now.
You drink it,
Please.
or I pour it on the floor. He's been here for like months.
All right.
He's not fucking around.
I'll reluctantly drink the water and then attempt to make it look like half the food mine is in his bowl.
He leans in and just ever so quietly whispers in your ear, "If we're going to get out of here, you're going to need your strength. Eat, or I will force it down your throat myself."
Don't have to do that. All right.
Do you remember when we were children? I fed you when baby.
You don't have to remind me.
Well, it seems I do.
Stanislav looks a little embarrassed.
He kind of writes himself, and you still see his. It's like a holy symbol. He's still a follower and devout, follower of Kelemvor. He has seemingly clung to his religion and his monastic traditions. Even looking around, you see the people kind of looking at him, and they all have they look at him with a sort of respect. You've seen it before. It's the same way the Hushroot looked at him. You could tell he's been doing his part to help other people, possibly to his own detriment.
Did they let me keep my holy symbol?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be like very plainly visible around my neck now because I ain't wearing no shirt.
Yeah, he sees it. See, you found religion in your old age.
Oh, please, brother, I'm not that old yet.
You keep it up this way, you will not live to be.
Well, I mean, I'm still learning a lot, but I mean, it seems maybe it found a source for all this shit that I can do. If not right now, hold it uncomfortably at the collar.
I'm familiar. Luckily, I don't have to wear one.
That's nice. How do you earn that perk?
Don't be able to use magic.
Fair.
Pretty simple, really.
Interesting that they still didn't count what you do as anything like that.
It's not magic.
Not wrong.
Think of me as very good masseuse. He kind of just there's a moment where his eyes close for a second, and he it almost like he just fell asleep, like mid conversation. He snaps back to, "I'm sorry, brother. I need to rest. I'm very tired."
Sleep, brother. Yes.
You need to speak to somebody.
Okay.
A lot of you need to speak to somebody. And you see the elf next to him. The old man has remained fairly vigilant this whole time. And as he says this, he's like, "Do you really think that's necessary, Ilsevere? Sure. That is not your decision to make." You need to seek out the elf named Furo.
Furo?
If anyone wants to take a note, Feuro. He's the last semblance of justice that you will find in this. And if anyone knows a way to fix our little situation here, it's him.
All right.
The
I can
elf
also
next to
tell
him
you.
again kind of perks up. He's like, yeah, he'd like to think so, wouldn't he?
I'm pretty sure Linux knows what's going on. And,
My
there's
friend,
some outside help going on.
Linux is dead. We saw him fall.
You may have thought you've seen him fall.
Well, if any man can survive having his arm cut off and eye cut out, it's Linux.
Oh yeah, that's right. I guess you haven't met our new friend. He actually, believe it or not, has a better arm now. He's doing just perfectly fine.
I'll believe that when I see it, if I see it. If I live to make it out of this place, my brother.
Yes. All right.
I don't
Get
like
some
my
rest.
chances. Go find Furo. He'll be able to help you.
Whereabouts should I look for him?
He'll be hard to miss. Look for the elf that all the other elves look at with respect.
I can do that.
You see the old
Try-
man, kind of like, the old elf, briefly take offense to that. There's like, maybe he thought he was the top cheese around here.
All right, brother. Try and get some sleep.
Thank you. If you're looking for my house, is that one? And he points to one that's like 3 doors down from yours.
Oh, perfect. I think I'm almost neighbors.
Don't forget, people get very angry when they find you in their beds.
Oh, don't worry. This isn't my first camel ride.
I remember. He goes and just like lays down. He just enters his room and just vanishes from your sight for the time being.
Hmm.
The elf looks at you. So you'd like to speak to my nephew then, eh?
Oh yeah, I didn't really introduce myself. My name's Stanislav. I'm Ilsevir's brother.
I've heard plenty about it. I will introduce you.
I would appreciate that.
But my nephew is young. He has a lot of ideas in his head. Some of them better than others. I would encourage you to take his words under great advisement before any further decisions.
All right.
His intentions are good. Rebellions are a dangerous thing here.
I don't even know if that's what we're going for. I think we're honestly just trying to get out.
That's what he's going for. Come with me. And he leads you, just weaves you in and out of the just range of different fucking alleyways and roads that lead here, all through these very uniform buildings, until eventually you leave the building section and find your way into one of the sprawling, massive tent cities. And you are brought kind of to the end of this whole thing, and you find there a very, very young looking elf. Like, even for an elf, like, this is probably someone born in the last 25 years levels of young. Like, this is a teenager in terms of elf.
A baby.
Even basically, like, maybe 30.
You taught a war.
Yeah, but like, he is also a half elf technically. So, he's very young, probably too young to be a leader. But it seems like everyone around him is looking up to him with a sort of reverence and respect. Even the way they're sitting, that's kind of centralized, where he's kind of this center figure in a way. It doesn't seem like he's all that comfortable in that position. Like, he's not acting like a ruler. He's not presiding over these people. He is a person that all of these people respect, and he might be a little uncomfortable with it. Yeah. As
I didn't choose the prophet life. The prophet life chose me.
Oh, and the old
Don't make
man
me sing.
would
Don't make me
have
dance.
would have introduced himself to you as Orlyle. Orlyle. He's a very old elf, and he introduces you to his nephew Furo. Furo, this is sorry, what did you say your name was?
My name is Stanislav.
Stanislav. This is Ilsevir's brother. He's been told to speak with you. Perhaps he can be of assistance, since you choose to ignore all of my counsel. I'll leave you to it. Try not to get anyone else killed, Neff. He turns and leaves. Roll me an insight check, Stanislav. 13?
No,
8.
8.
There's a tension there. You're not sure what it's coming from, but it is quite palpable. You're just not reading exactly.
Family shit.
Yeah, maybe. And as he kind of like looks up, he was just eating his gruel, same as everybody here. And when I say flavorless, I mean literally. It is just oats cooked in water. There's nothing else to it. Stanny, you have advantage as well. You have advantage as well, so you get to cancel out your disadvantage for the first time. So
we'll see.
Furo kind of looks up at you, and you see like a very young, naive, almost looking face. Hello.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm told that I come speak with you.
Why is that?
Well, I'm just looking around. Are there any of these gang types around us out in this tent village?
Not a single one.
Okay. Well, it wasn't really our original plan, but we're here not necessarily by accident.
You came here by choice.
Well, we have some people here we wanted to get out.
I'm sorry, but it cannot be helped by fools.
Well, I maybe realize now that doing it alone is not the greatest idea, but we have some help.
Doing it with other people isn't great either. You tend to get... I'm sure you noticed my uncle is not exactly, keen on my ideas.
Well, don't worry, I've been in your boat before.
Have you? You spent 50 years of your life hauling stone for the Imperium, then?
Not 50, but a good portion of my my life doing things not of my own will.
You understand a little. That's good.
It was very different than here.
And you had your freedom.
I took it.
You gave it up willingly.
My freedom? For now. I'm letting them think that.
Bold words. But do you have a plan? Or are you just a helping set of hands?
Well, I wasn't really the planner ever, so we're working on it with people inside and out.
How do you work with people outside? There's no communication outside these walls.
Not yet.
If you have allies and they're not here already, they have forgotten about you. You are alone. We all are. In a sense.
It's pretty pessimistic.
Again, live 50 years of your life hauling stone for the Imperium and tell me where you can find some optimism.
It's a very good point.
I've watched my own family die in rebellions that they did not cause. Innocents burn alive.
That seems to just be the way of the Imperium.
Exactly. And it's time for it to end.
Well, what do you have in mind?
Freedom. Any way we can take it, no matter how many lives it takes to do so.
We do outnumber the people here quite significantly.
We storm the walls, thousands of us will die, but thousands more will be free. That is what my uncle does not understand. He views all life as sacred, and while it is, any who are not strong enough to take their freedom can aid those who are.
Death for freedom is better than a life in chains, I think.
I would agree. I don't have a plan yet. We've tried. Twice. Once while I was alive. It's put down. Brutally. Without mercy, without hesitation. If we act,
You need everybody here on board.
We need to act, and we need to act quickly when we do. We need weapons. We need men who can wield them.
Well, if we get a certain thing from a friend of mine. I think we can work with the weapons. Seems like we have some planning to do.
Yes. Do you know your work assignment yet?
No clue. How do I find out?
What?
Laundry room.
They don't seem to tell you a lot around here.
They won't need to. Where is your living arrangements?
So, and I kind of point in the general direction.
You'll be in the mines.
Figures.
Can't speak for the rest of the party, I don't know. You're here with friends, I presume, based on what you've told me?
Big Minotaur fellow and the small blonde kid with curly hair.
The Minotaur will be in the quarry. Not sure what they'll do with the child.
Laundry room.
Probably stick him somewhere small and hard to reach. Unfortunately, he is the most likely to die.
Yes, exceptional survival skills. I think he'll be alright.
He is a child.
Mostly in appearance.
That's really all that matters.
It's fair.
Meanwhile, he's died twice. Exactly, Hellscorp! Hellscorp knows what's up.
Elf!
Well, for now, I will count you as an ally. When we do have a plan, we'll let you in on it. If you come up with something in that time, well, feel free to bring it to me, but for the most part, it's best if we're not seen speaking all the time.
Yeah, I figure I'd just take some time to get the lay of the land. Maybe,
Any questions? Anything you need to know?
I mean, just, I'll just ask him, like, about, like, the power levels and, like, where do I go for certain things? What's the time frame like for shit?
You
Just
get
kinda
water and gruel at sun up and sun down, before and after work. That's it. They don't care what you do with your free time here, because there's no military to watch us. The only people who give a damn are the watchers. And they can be bought.
How do you earn... What even is the currency here?
Favors. One good deed deserves another. One bad deed deserves another. You know the drill. We have no currency to exchange, really, so we exchange whatever we can. Clothes, jewelry, people.
That's not very unfamiliar, unfortunately.
No, it's amazing how much we become like our keepers in the end. Some of us have chosen not to ally ourselves with them. I'm assuming based on the fact that you are not in their uniform, you have not either.
They they wanted me to shake some people down, which is not quite what I'm about.
You wouldn't have been shaking people down, my friend. You would have been killing them.
Yeah, I think.
Inadvertently, you would deliver them, they would be tortured, and then murdered in front of their family. I'm glad you,
Yeah, and I point to my holy symbol. That's definitely not going to happen.
That's not going to do you much good in here, I'm afraid. Your morals won't get you very far, but I do respect you for it. Keep your head down, do as you're told. When the time comes, I will see to it you and your friends are brought with us. As long as you promise that, should your plans come to fruition before our own, you'll take us with you as well.
One thing that I would need to know definitely is where they keep our stuff.
Probably in the garrison.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and you would recall looking out the window, like when you were coming in the carriage, you could see out through it's not a window, like the flap in the fabric or whatever. You would have seen, like, right next to the kind of haphazard wooden wall palisade that they built to contain this city, there is a much more sturdily constructed, like, garrison fort of, like, pure sandstone walls towering about 20 feet high, and then an inner keep that kind of goes up quite a bit higher, like 30, 40 feet. And inside there, you gather, would be, like, some of the officer housing and, like, a number of other things, such as weapon storage, armory, food, and whatnot. You also would have seen, like, what looks like a small town, probably soldier housing. Not entirely dissimilar to what you'd have on an army base, basically. It's kind of row upon row of military homes.
Alrighty then. Well, thank you for your time. I'm gonna Be on my way then.
Be sure to rest, you're gonna need it. Tomorrow is going to be a hard day. I would tell you that the first one is the hardest, but that would be a lie.
Trust me, I know that's not true.
I know. Your friend Gregory might not, though. Be sure that he's made aware. And remember, if anyone offers you anything, it is not free. Everything has a cost here. Usually that cost is a life. One way or another.
Thank you.
Thank you. And he takes and you look at him drinking his water, and it's like, you pick this up on everyone here since they're given such small quantities of it. Only like twice per day, plus maybe what they get during the workday. They all sip it like a whiskey almost. Like they just they take barely a drop and like hold it in their mouth until it evaporates more or less, and they swallow what's left. They all seem to have figured out the best way to ration their water here. So, at that point, we're going to have everyone tuck in for the night. And we're going to do a little bit of a time jump. We're going to jump ahead a couple weeks. And for anyone who's interested in seeing what's happening, in this in-between time, we are going to be having a separate session with the party where we go over the full length of time we are in here. That one's going to be uploaded separately straight to YouTube. Just trying to get a little more content over there, and this will be a good way to kind of bridge the time between Hell's Court being away and the party being away. So, basically, you're all given your assignments. Stanislav, you are sent to the mines, where you are admittedly tall. You're quite a big fellow. You're not quite as bulky as Mantuka, so it's a little easier for you to fit inside the mines. So your days are spent literally hauling either coal, precious gemstone. It depends on what mine. There's like a series of them, all of it mining different elements and stuff. There's quite a resource-rich mountain range here. Gems, coal, various things. Mantuka, you are sent to the quarry, where you spend...
Laundromat.
Nope. Unfortunately for you, you do not get laundry duty. You are led to the quarry, where your entire job is to carry just massive quantities of stone that has been cut from this quarry and loaded onto carts. Even for you, this work gets harder and harder over time. Gregory, what's up?
So, like, I'd be getting pretty, like, ripped, though. Like, even though I would be, like, not eating everything, I'd be looking pretty good, like...
You would actually be looking better. Like, your muscles are, for at least that first little bit, your muscles are more defined, because you're completely dehydrated and not packing on any fat whatsoever. So, like...
look for the silver lining, you know?
Yeah, still... Yeah, can't bulk if you don't have food.
So speak for yourselves.
So it's not so much that you're bulking up while you're carrying this shit, but it's that your skin is literally like you're tightening and like your muscles are just becoming more defined.
Potato, brother. I look awesome. That's all I want you to elongate that. Let the listeners know I look fucking amazing.
Little bit.
Somebody draw me.
Like one of your French girls.
Like one of your French minotaurs.
So you spend the better part of the next 2 weeks hauling stone in the quarry. Gregory. It was not lost upon them at whatsoever what you are capable of. They didn't really mention it, but you quickly realize as you are separated once again from your party and led towards the ancient ruins of Adroch itself, the great elven city that now lays entirely in ruins just south of Pillarstone, after it was all but wiped out by the Magus Imperium themselves some 2,500 years ago or so, give or take a couple hundred years. This surprises you most of all as you kind of come to the edge of this massive excavation pit that doesn't look entirely dissimilar to the quarry, and you look down though and you see these massive sprawling buildings just sunken under the desert, long since buried, that have long since or now been excavated. You see great vaulted ceilings held up by these massive columns, and it's almost very it's like very almost Egyptian-like in its architecture, where the Imperium itself has a bit more of like a Roman aesthetic in terms of its architecture. The Undara definitely having more of a connection to the gods and the stars themselves, had a bit more of an artistic kind of way of making things, you know what I mean? Not that the Romans weren't artistic in their designs, but like there's a lot of like flow to it. There's decoration, there's like gilded decorations here, writings on the walls that you can only partially understand. It's like some weird mix of Elvish and Celestial that kind of blended together, and since the language has actually separated and become their two own very distinct things. You are placed in that excavation. Yeah, you are led down a series of these like rickety wooden stairs deep into this excavation, where you are brought into what appears to be an old temple of some kind, maybe a library. And you spend your 2 weeks going through like old scrolls and tomes and things that should have been lost and dissolved over the thousands of years they've been down here, seemingly perfectly preserved inexplicably. And we'll go over a little more what you uncover there when we do our little off-stream YouTube adventure.
Oh yeah, we will.
So, I need you all, for each week you're here, a total of 2, to make me a Constitution save to resist further points of exhaustion, as you are worked to the bone, fed the bare minimum scraps, and basically sleep deprived.
With the disadvantage?
I don't. Con saves aren't at disadvantage till you're at 2
Pity.
levels of exhaustion. Mantuka's good.
Why'd I do it twice there?
Okay, so
18.
what's up, Mantuka?
Praise Mogus.
Why did everyone roll twice?
You said it's 2 weeks, so 2 con saves.
Oh, 2 weeks. Okay.
Oh,
18.
that's why I did, right.
Yes,
okay,
yeah. I was so confused. I forgot
Me
my
too.
own rule. Gregory's the only one who failed. Okay, so Gregory.
Baby Gregory died.
The lot of
Oh,
you
no.
spend your first week, you're working in the sweltering sun. Gregory, you're doing okay a little bit because you're like in the ruins where you're basically like protected from the sun. It's almost chilly.
In the shade, yeah.
It's almost chilly down there.
Underground, yeah, it'd be kind of cold.
And as the first week passes, you guys feel the wear and tear on your bodies begin to set in. You're still at 1 point of exhaustion, all of. However, Gregory, as you start being pushed more and more to study harder and harder and unlock the secrets of these things, you begin to just falter in your constitution. You're no longer able to like rest as well. You're almost become so enamored with the work you're doing, in a sense, where you're like unlocking these ancient secrets. You're almost so focused on it yourself that it's preventing you from resting. You are like fixated on these objects, almost unnaturally so. It strikes you as odd, but like your inquisitive mind, maybe it's that you're very young, it's that you're very curious, is that you're very just education minded. You are just taking in all this information during the day, and your nights are spent just trying to organize it in your head, and it causes you by the end of week 2 to take another point of exhaustion, as you have just basically stretched your mental capacities to the bone, or to the absolute core.
I would say too that over the course of those 2 weeks, I've picked up a square-shaped rock, and that whenever I'm by myself in my bed, I'm eating food, even when I'm in front of the other boys, I'm telling like what I've found out in the day. Like I'm like, you won't even believe it, and then I found out to the box, and I'm like saying like to the mending mouse, to the little guidance puffball. I'm talking to the ones that aren't there.
Okay. So. That time all passes. You all spend 2 weeks doing your assigned tasks. We will get into what happens during that time, like I said, on YouTube. So, as these 2 weeks are coming to a close, it is the last evening of that fortnight. The sun has just gone down. You have returned home from your work. All of you regrouped, kind of fallen into a bit of a routine at this point. Maybe made some friends, made a few allies along the way, and continued. No real concrete plans for what the hell it is you are going to do. However, as you are all just sitting there that evening, you're all taking in your gruel, you're sitting with Ilsevere, who is, with you being there, Stanny, he seems to have recovered a little bit, like just even seeing you has given him like a semblance of hope that he didn't quite have before. And you're all kind of tucking in, the sun has gone down, and as you all file into your respective cabins for the evening, you all shut your eyes around the usual time, probably about 10 o'clock if we were to actually put it on a clock or so, trying to get as much rest as you can before the previous day. You all sleep for what you feel like a couple of hours before you are all rocked by the sound of a thundering explosion coming from outside the city walls. And I would like to invite our good friend, Mr. Maker, back into the fold.
What? What?
If he joins. There he is! What's up?
Oh my god!
I told you guys he'd be here.
It's time!
I gotta change you guys around a little bit.
You sneaky buggers! No, chat, none of us knew about this. This is amazing.
You all look.
We're getting saved by
You're
a
all just
corporate
rocked.
supervillain.
You're all
Let's
just
go.
You're all just rocked awake by the sound of this blistering explosion. Your ears are ringing. You all step outside of your cabins as people just begin filing into the streets around you, all looking and towards the northern gate, where the garrison, the fortress itself, is located. You just see a towering pillar of smoke just streaking its way into the just barely, like just that little bit of light coming from the moon. You see this streak of smoke going up against it, and then this bright illumination of flame as what appears to be a massive section of the fort, not the city you're in, but the garrison house itself, is now on fire. Mr. Maker, we join you as you come back. You are just now running out of the fucking fiery explosion. Your face, not your own. That of the one you have affectionately named Terry, the guard that you knocked out and killed.
Terry?
Along with some help from Linax. And you make your way out of the garrison. You see all of these people begin filing towards the fire with buckets of water that they're gathering from a nearby well. You stumble out looking wounded, acting like you've just basically been next to that explosion. What are you doing right now? What's your plan?
I immediately look around to the building I've already scouted out.
Yep.
A piece of the garrison, which looks like you see a small forge fire smoke coming out of the top.
Yep.
And I'm going to stumble my way in there haphazardly and take a look to see if there's anybody in there.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay, rolling.
At first glance, you don't see anyone. This is just to see if there's anybody hiding.
Rolling it.
15. Okay, you don't see anyone who appears to be in an Imperium dress. You do see what looks like a younger boy, maybe 14 or 15, wearing just plain white cloth, almost burlap garments, and a collar around his neck. And he's just basically cowering behind a desk, looking up as you enter. Please, I didn't do anything. I'm sorry.
No.
Sees you in your
fine.
Imperium uniform.
I would know that the collar's the same as the prisoners, right?
Yeah, you've been scouting the slave camp for probably the last week at this point. You're very familiar with the operations there.
Hi.
What's up, Goblins?
I'm not here to hurt you. I'm gonna pull, not fully remove them because I never remove them, but I'm pull my glasses down and my face is gonna change back into mine.
Your stereotypical changeling sounds as your skin changes back. He immediately cowers even further under the desk, and you just see a pair of eyes poke up. What are you?
I'm here to help. Can you take me to where the weapons are?
I don't think I should. I could get in trouble.
I mean, look, you heard that explosion? I did that. Take me to where the weapons are.
Roll me an intimidation check with advantage, please.
I did that.
That was me.
21.
Oh, we love it. 21? Yeah, that works. Yeah. He immediately scrambles over to just a trap door in the floor, unlocks it, and you just see a staircase descending into what appears to be a basement under this large kind of blacksmithy area that he seems to be an apprentice in. And as you look down, you see just walls upon walls of weapon racks. What's up?
All right, I will take...
1 second. What's up, Stanislav? Yeah.
Did you even eat fucking Taco Bell last night?
No, fuck no.
we did a bamboozle on you.
Yeah.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud.
Dairy Queen
I did
last
have
night.
Dairy Queen, but Dairy Queen would never do that to me. Dairy Queen would never do
I
that.
have not.
Dairy Queen is my
Taco
fucking
Bell,
love it.
you motherfucker.
Oh,
I hit up Rusty.
Yeah.
I hit up Rusty
That's
earlier.
such a good excuse, though. So believable.
Everyone believes food poisoning. No one's gonna question you having the shits. No one wants to.
I literally just thought you had Taco Bell shit.
Yeah. No, I told him. I said he hit me up and he's like, so we're gonna do this, and this. And I'm like, okay, but can we wait for me to come in until the boom? That's when I want to come in.
All right.
The best episode ever.
Sorry for the interruption. I just had to know.
You're good. No, you're good. You're cool.
Amazing.
You're cool.
Top notch.
So you're
12 out of 10.
Basically, you go into the armory and you looking down. You see this room has been locked under key. Do you go in, or are you just looking from above?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of like point to the boy, yell if you see anybody come in.
Okay, sure. Yeah, okay, I can do that.
I'm gonna crawl down
He
there.
just hides back and just two eyes looking over the desk towards the door.
Perfect. I'm gonna crawl down there and
It's a
pulling
staircase.
out.
Yeah, it's like an actual like
Sure.
staircase. It's just
I thought you were
guarded
saying
by
it
a
was a
door.
ladder.
No, it's like stairs that have been trapdoored over, so like it's quite hard to get in. You just make your way down and you find yourself wall to wall weapons. This is clearly the armory for the whole garrison. All of the off-duty troops or soldiers leave a lot of their shit here. This is where the excess weapons are stored. Most importantly, you see a series of shelves and tables kind of towards the back of the room where you see a familiar set of gear. You see a very, very recognizable toy box in particular.
Is UI there?
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah,
in the corner,
fuck.
you see a very, very similar or very familiar, currently inactive robot friend, companion. Your good buddy, unnamed intern, whom you have so missed. He is currently inactive in the corner.
I go walk over to him, take my fist, and just like bang down on his head.
His eyes,
And he just
yeah, his green eyes flash on as you smack the life back into unnamed intern, your severely abused robot. He looks up, as if like being in permanent stasis was just better than seeing you. There's no enthusiasm there whatsoever. He's like, oh.
I was having a nice
Hey,
dream.
He like pops his legs out, so he's now like, instead of just a cylindrical body with a head, he just pops his legs and arms out, which you know are on hydraulics.
Sure.
Like one of those droids in the first Star Wars.
Kind
Yeah,
of.
exactly.
Basically.
Fuck, exactly.
Yeah, basically.
And I'm gonna immediately, without even doing anything other than like taking him off the shelf, I'm going to just start scooping as much of the familiar gear, the toy box, I assume the halberd.
Yeah, you get
Whatever
all
the
of it.
fuck
Literally
Stanislav
all of
has.
Mantuka's, Stanny's. There's literally hundreds of personal belongings. This is a huge room that you gather stretches under the entire garrison building. This is like
crazy shit. Whore.
Yeah, so you get all of your party's items back into the bag.
I pull out my fancy leather fanny pack,
Your new
and
fanny pack of
my-
holding. Yep.
beautiful fanny pack of holding, and just start scooping it in, everything I can find. And
Yep.
then I go to the walls where all the regular, like, normal weapons are and start scooping as much as I possibly can hold in there.
Yep. You just begin piling weapons and stuffing them. A couple are like aren't fitting right, and you just begin. Eventually, you do reach a point where you fill the bag of holding. There is a finite limit of shit that
Sure.
it can carry in there. You basically clear.
500 cubic feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Of
That's a lot
weapons.
of
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
weapons.
You basically
Yes. Fucking
Shit,
is.
boys.
you get all of your party's possessions back. You clear out basically all the weapons in here except for a couple shittier looking ones. And you even manage to piece together like a couple suits of Imperium armor.
Hog.
Yeah.
I then immediately stumble out, grab the boy,
Yep.
and like up under my arm, just fucking carry him the fuck out of there.
And-
Shush! Shut up! Shut up!
okay. Okay.
And as we're walking out, I change my face back to Terry's.
Yep.
Uh,
Roll a
and then-
D100, JT, please. JT, not you. You're good.
okay,
We got a weather check.
gotcha.
It's
And
another
then
sandstorm.
I start making my way as fucking carefully and with purpose as I can out of there, and back up to my little cliff garrison with line axe there.
That's so close to a sandstorm. JT rolled a 90.
Jesus,
He's 6
Christ.
away from a sandstorm.
60
So, as you like make your way out of the armory and kick open the door with this child, like this young teenager under your arm, you feel like just light breeze on your face. And by the time you're making your way back towards your little cliffside encampment, so basically the way we've set it up, the garrison's up here. You and Lineax were camped on the southern side, kind of to the southeast of the mines, overlooking that. I have a map for that, which I can't show you guys just yet. But
Can't
basically-
wait to see Elsevier's face when he sees Linex live.
Yeah. So you make your way
Yes.
back with this kid. No, everyone seems pretty preoccupied with the fire, and all they see is you returning a worker to the camp. So no one actually stops to question you. They gather probably a good place for that individual is back in the prison camp. So no one really pays much attention to you. However, you quickly veer away from the main gate and make your way back to Linex, who is just sitting there. He's not set a fire. He's sitting there basically in the dark, just observing. You see him just like hands, one metal hand kind of leaned up against his other one, staring down. He's not breaking. He's barely blinking, for fuck's sake. And as he sees you, or hears you before he sees you, you come over a ridge and there is an arrow probably 3 feet from your face. As you just step over, he's like,
"It's me, Terry. It's me, Terry."
He puts the arrow back in the quiver. He has a back quiver. He gets a back quiver. He doesn't have an over. He's a back quiver kind of man.
He's a Legoless motherfucker.
Puts the arrow back. You brought a friend.
Yeah, he was in the garrison. I didn't want to leave him there.
Welcome to the party.
I don't know if he'll be any useful, but like at least he's not in that fucking place anymore,
He's
right?
a child.
That's one person removed.
That's one. We've liberated one.
We did one.
Only,
we did it.
by my counting, probably about 50,000 more to go.
Easy. So then I just kind of like open the bag of holding and kind of like let him peer in.
It's just black. There's nothing in there.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just kind of like gesturing.
You shake the bag and it's just metallic fucking ringing from inside of it.
Yeah,
so...
I also got back all of the fucking Mantuka's gear. I got Gregory's gear. I got fucking Stanny's gear. So hopefully, if I can get it back to them, they'll probably be a bit more help than I assume most of the very back-broken people in this camp.
I can tell you right now, just from what I've observed, first off, Stanislav and Mantuka are working in the mines. I haven't seen Gregory. Stanny is hard to miss.
True.
Very hard
very
to
shiny.
Miss. He reflects the sunlight, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Mantuka's hard
Even
to miss
more
too.
with the sweat.
Mantuka is huge. He's very big.
Right.
I know. I
Very
feel like
girth.
he's
Big
offended
girth.
by me not describing him, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's
Sure.
personally taking it personal right now.
Mogus is judging you.
Oh no. I've not seen
I'm a
Gregory.
fucking man bull.
So, if I had to guess, Gregory is probably at the excavation site during the day.
Okay, fair. Well, do you have any beads on, what's her fucking name? Did you look it up? Do you know?
Yes, I did. Okay. Vistra. Her name is Vistra.
Vistra. Have you noticed anyone matching description that I was given?
A few tieflings in the group. I haven't been able to pick out anyone in particular, but there are a few.
Okay, she's important. We gotta get her the fuck out of here.
I would say, based on what you've told me about the deal you made to get us this far, she's probably one of the most important details.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
I understand.
I'd like my soul. Just a little bit.
I'm surprised to find out you have one.
Yeah, I do. And I don't want it coming back like that.
Bold choice of you to make a deal like that, then.
Well, I got confidence. Maybe less so after I point to a gaping wound in my side.
What happened there?
Did you not? You didn't hear it?
I saw it. Was that? I should have guessed that was you. I thought the plan was to blow the wall up.
Well, and I reach into the bag of holding and I pull out like enough.
Yeah, you
Like, I
filled
pull out
several bags of fucking gunpowder. Yeah.
I got
the bag
enough
is completely
to blow them.
full of swords. Is there a possibility of you just slicing your hand off in there?
I think when you reach
No, when you
around-
reach in, you have to think. You have to think of what you
Yeah.
want.
There,
Yeah, you
cut
get
you.
Yeah, let us finish our thing. So,
Like a saw trap.
yeah.
And so I got enough to blow the wall, but then I couldn't just leave the rest of it there. Like, that's just giving them more ammunition.
I don't think they're using it for ammunition, but I understand.
There were ballistas in there.
Oh
plenty.
yes, so I'm sure you've noticed the ballistas on the wall, then, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's going
course.
to be an issue.
It is, but they have significantly less ballista ammo now, which means when we number 9 to the 50,000s, they can't shoot all of us.
No, you're probably right.
And their entire warehouse full of ammo, as far as I could see, the only warehouse full of ballista ammo is now a smoking pile of ruin.
Very impressive. Excellent work. So what's the plan now? they're probably on high alert.
Well, I think very easily we can still sneak into Terry's guard post. I mean, they're going to be expecting Terry to be there.
That's true.
And most of their reinforcements and most of their attention is going to be on the part of the wall that a giant explosion just fucking blew up. So this may be our best chance to sneak you in.
Well, that was the original plan. Just you've made some slight improvisations.
I'm an improver.
Yes,
I don't know, man. It's
understand.
what I do.
Who improvs?
Yes, and baby.
Who
yes,
who
and.
improvs things? Like what kind of hobby is that? Who just
A con man.
I'm really starting to like you, you know.
Well, thank you.
All right, well, let's get this done before
Here's
they're,
the plan.
Yeah, lay it on me.
I take.
Then you can tell me the plan.
Yeah. Hey. I reach into my back pocket and pull out a small. It looks like a little gun, kind of. Not that they would know what that is, but like.
They're familiar. Flintlock
Okay.
weapons are quite common amongst the pirates in particular, and they've met each other.
It's very small. It's maybe the size of a fucking laser pointer.
Mhm.
And I hand it to him, and I say, as soon as you have located Stanislav, Gregory, and Mantuka, and obviously the tiefling, please, for God's sake, locate the tiefling.
So you want me
Shoot
to
this up.
leave the tiefling? I just want to make sure I understand.
Yeah.
you. We kill the tiefling on sight
Have to.
and head clean off.
Okay. You know, I know you're joking. Just want to make it plainly clear. No, don't want that.
I'm not the one who wagered his soul.
I'm not the one who got stuck. I'm doing my best here.
That's fair. All right.
So, as soon as you locate them and start formulating a bit of a plan to distribute these weapons, because it's not going to be as easy as just dumping out the bag and fucking...
I'm kind of thinking it is going to be as easy as just dumping the giant bag of weapons out and letting every single person who can grab them.
I've admittedly been focused more on the guards. I know you've been looking at the actual camp. Is there ever a time or a place where it seems like they kind of congregate?
Not so much a time or place. If you look, he kind of like points down to like the southeast or southwest side of the city, and it's like mostly tents.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I can see, that's where most of the elves seem to be congregating, and they seem to be keeping themselves somewhat separate from the rest of the prisoners. But I've seen Stanny wandering around in there a couple times.
Okay. Well, try to. I trust you. Just try to get them distributed as easily as possible.
Okay.
I'm gonna hand you the bag.
He
Grabs
grabs it and just slings it over his shoulder.
It's a fanny pack. You put it.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I've never used one before.
It's all right. It's all right.
I have something
They're very
that
nice,
prevents
very
me from
convenient.
using these. It's called a penis. He clips the fanny pack close.
I feel like that's a bit of DM personal bias.
I'm fucking with you. I love a good fanny pack. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they are convenient.
Yeah.
Represent.
Hell
But
yeah.
he's probably the type who would sling it over the shoulder.
Sure, yeah.
Like,
Like a
just
messenger bag.
Like a
yeah.
messenger bag, basically.
They also accentuate the dad gut too, if you've got one.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
you gotta put it under the dad gut.
You gotta have it like sitting on top of the fanny pack.
Yeah, the gut sits on the it's like a gut support. You know what I mean?
So, I'm gonna lower you down. I'm just gonna fucking give you the end of this goddamn grappling hook and lower you past the spikes.
Don't worry about that, I'll be fine.
Unless you can get down on your own.
You've seen me climb.
I have seen you climb. I've also seen those spikes, though. They look particularly nasty.
But they look, from what I've seen, that they're facing inward. Like they're keeping people in. I don't think they give a shit about
That's-
someone trying to climb the wall and go inside. Because, like, who the fuck in their right mind would want to do that?
Very true. Okay, so, yeah.
He just
I guess that's
pauses
fine.
and stares at you for a brief minute while that kicks in. Let that sink in for a sec. Alright, so we're off then, is what you're saying.
We got it. So I think we should
He
do
opens
this
the bag
while they're
and
still
quickly, like,
scrambling.
takes out one longsword, puts it down, and stuffs his own fucking longsword and shield into the bag.
Hell
Closes
yeah.
it, slings it over his fucking shoulder, and buckles it, messenger bag
Uh,
style.
we
Lineax
should
ain't gonna be
try to
caught
do this.
dead in no fanny pack, okay? Lineax is a very stylish gay man. He's not wearing no fanny pack.
we should,
This
we
shit
we should try to get this done within the next day, while
How
we're
about-
still scrambling to deal with this.
Tomorrow night. I
That
think if
sounds
we do
good.
it tonight, people will be a little too high alert. Maybe tomorrow, while they're dealing with repairs, we can
Plus, I again
deal with
need
this.
to deal with this.
Yeah. So you rest up.
Will do.
I'll handle this. I don't think I need your help for this part.
I'm gonna go settle into Terry's guard post.
Yep. Okay. Sure. You switch back to your Terry face.
Uh-huh.
He's still like, I'll never get used to that. And you two make your way towards Terry's post, which was along. It's like a tower along the southern part of the wall. And you just take up your position outside the basically guarding the ladder so no one climbs up. Like that's about as much the security they have to prevent people climbing in. Linax begins climbing the ladder. What's up, Liz? Welcome in. How you doing today? I hope you had a good day at work. I hope it all went well. He just begins climbing the ladder, looks down. I can see you staring up at me, and just continues.
I go up after him.
Quickly looks around. You go up to and you stand. Doesn't appear to be anyone up here currently. It looks like most of the guards are currently occupied at the giant fire you just fucking started. And Linax very quickly, we're gonna roll him a dex save just for the lulz. Where's Linax character sheet? Here. This is gonna be acrobatics to just scale. He's literally like he began to an 11. Okay. He begins like just begins climbing over the other side of the wall. He looks up at you. Don't worry, I'll be fine. And then he goes to like step on one of the supports or one of the basically he's using the spikes that are sticking out towards as like rungs of a ladder. He steps and his foot immediately just slips. And even as you flash of genius, he manages to catch himself, but not before he like bounces off a couple on the way down. And he stops. He's like, you just hear him trying to gain the fucking like air back into his lungs.
Are you sure you don't want some help getting down?
I'm already halfway down now. It'll be fine.
All right.
And he finishes the rest. We're gonna do one more acrobatics to try and recover from that. Yeah, baby.
Okay, there you go.
As you kind of you hear him regain his breath, he just quickly scales down the rest of the wall and like very, very skillful. Like he's not wearing his armor. He's just basically wearing white robes. He took all that off and put it in the bag, and just very skillfully with his fanny pack.
That was very Inspector Clouseau of him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very. Trey Pink Panther. He makes his way into the camp to find Stanislav, Mantuka, and Gregory. That is going to be where we take
Before we
our
go,
break for today.
before
Yes,
we go to
yes.
break,
I do
just
believe
gotta say-
you had something important to say.
Yeah, well, you guys know, if anybody's been watching for a while, you'll see that I change my background constantly.
All the time. It is a running gag
All the
and it
fucking
annoys
time.
the shit out of us. Yep.
Yeah,
I
but
wish you would
I
just
love it.
stick to one spot. I just wish you would stick to one.
I am. Look, this is my new place.
Looks like a green screen to me.
You're a fucking liar, bro.
I can
This is my
I can see where you failed to properly key the green screen.
I've.
What are you talking about?
No, it's real.
It's the real murder, Gerda.
Look at.
You win.
Yeah,
Very much.
I'm gonna be honest. That's like the third time I've seen that reveal, and it gets funnier every time. I'm gonna be honest.
Those blowtorches work too.
They did work.
Oh, yeah.
We know that. He did it on stream yesterday.
I did this on stream yesterday.
Yeah. Art. Beautiful, beautiful art.
Beautiful art. So, at that point, we're gonna go ahead and take our 10 minutes now. We've been going for 2 hours. That's long
Oh,
for us
Hills, I
before
love
first
you.
break. That was amazing. I'm so glad. we
God,
got
this is
you
our
back,
best
buddy.
episode ever.
I'm really happy with how this is going. Hells, I could
You
not
may
be
have
happy.
just started a riot, by the way.
That's exactly what we're doing. Yeah.
Good.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so we're gonna go ahead, take ourselves a nice little 10-minute break here. We will be back in just a few. Y'all, I want to thank y'all for coming by. Y'all are the best. I love you. We love you. We'll see you in 10. And don't go anywhere. Hey, everybody, we're back in...
Hi, everybody.
Mr. Maker's in a washing machine. What's
The
up?
hell's washing?
The hell
It's the Hell's
The
Machine.
Hell's Machine.
Wacky
Benzie.
waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Man. Yeah, basically. I want to see it. It's going to fall.
Oh, he succeeded on his deck
There you
save.
go. Beautiful. Beautiful. So when we left off, Linax had somewhat ungracefully snuck his way into the great encampment near Adroch. This massive, sprawling, almost city-like slave encampment in the Magus Imperium. Quickly makes his way towards the shelter of a number of buildings, wearing clothes that look close enough to what the prisoners are wearing that he maybe won't be noticed at first glance. He does appear to be sneaking quite a bit. Let's have him roll a stealth at advantage. Didn't matter anyway, he rolls a 20. So, with the 20, he slinks right into the shadows, Mr. Maker. You're kind of watching from your place above the wall, is in your Terry face. You never actually got the dude's name. We just call him. He's just Terry.
That's not even his name.
Somebody in the camp referred to me as Terry.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was just a mistake on my part because I was
assumed.
drinking.
I assumed, yeah.
Because I was drinking at that
How's the
point.
wife and kids?
Hey, Terry.
I said, you son of a bitch.
Now, Linax slinks his way into the camp, more or less in the dead of night. While it's like there's not a sleeping person left in Adroch. Everyone is awake. That explosion was ear splitting for the lot of you. Stanny, you're towards the kind of southwest side of the camp, which is closest to where Linax comes in. So he's just kind of weaving his ways. Okay, good. He's weaving his way through the street and just trying to make his way to someone he recognizes.
I've for sure come out of my
Yep,
place
and you're
because
looking
I
up.
didn't-
You're looking up at this massive tower of smoke and flame as you feel a gentle but metallic tap on your shoulder.
I kind of turned with fists for a second. Oh,
and you see
Hello there.
Linax, his freshly wounded face and metal arm, kind of hidden. He's tucked it under his shirt a little bit. He's looking at you. He's trying to blend in a little. He's standing very making himself seem more shrunken and less healthy than he actually is. There's somewhere private we can speak, my friend.
yeah, quick, come in. I'm gonna usher him back into the place, which I assume all of my bunkmates are outside now.
Yeah, basically everyone is cleared out at this point. It's just it's a group of people in off-shade kind of whitish gray jumpsuits, more or less. Very
I think I'm wearing
pleasant.
probably.
Yep, exactly. It's close. You can tell his are
Plus the shirt.
his are made from an actual fabric that isn't burlap. It looks comfortable, but he blends in well enough.
Yeah, come on inside really quick.
You look
Kinda
like
more or less
shit.
shove him inside.
Yeah, he just quickly closed the door. You look like shit, my friend.
Thanks. Good to see you too.
Good to see you. I'm
I
Sorry.
assume that you had something to do with.
No, that wasn't my idea. That wasn't part of the plan at all. But your new friend has a few crazy ideas here and there.
Yeah, he does that. They usually work though. It's kind of crazy.
I'm sorry we were unable to assist you when you were taken. We, as you know, we left to scout ahead, and we ran into some problems of our own. And by the time we dealt with those, we came upon the cliffs and basically had the opportunity to watch you all get carted away.
I just put my hand on his shoulder. Don't worry about it. In fact, it probably should have been our original plan for all of this to happen.
I think the plan was good. We just, someone fucked up a lot.
It was a skill issue for sure.
Skill issue.
Good.
Where is everybody else? Did they make it safely?
Yeah, I mean everybody's all right by metrics around here compared to most of the other people. I haven't seen Gregory since we got here. Have I?
Yeah, you guys at night. You guys have been eating
Oh,
together
okay, yeah.
and socializing and stuff. They do not regulate what you do within the walls. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, compared to everyone else, we're pretty good.
And your brother, did he make it? Anyone else from the tribe?
Plenty actually, and I just list off everyone, including Elsevier. Hmm?
That's a positive, at least. I've
A tiefling friend of Gregory's as well. Amongst our ranks, he's definitely trustworthy.
You mean Valzir?
Alzir, yeah.
I remember him well. He's one of us now. Do you
Excellent.
think you could get word to them during the day tomorrow? That we are making our escape.
If I can manage that.
Pass on
I assume
the word to Karen.
there will be a similar notification.
This will be hard to miss, yes. I have weapons with me. He kind of jiggles the bag of holding on him. Like it's a fanny pack, and you hear it like ching ching, ching, like a bunch of metal shaking around inside of it.
Are they just any old weapons, or did you manage to, get our stuff?
We got your stuff and, well, enough weapons to arm a small army. And I say we, I mean he, your friend. I didn't do much. Mostly I kept watch and I helped with Terry.
Great.
Oh,
Well,
Terry.
I know where we can take those to keep them hidden.
I think
And
it's
safe.
better if I find somewhere to keep me hidden for now.
Okay.
I can't exactly be wandering around the camp. With this, I feel like I wouldn't have been admitted at all.
No. I know where I can bring you that the guards won't be around much.
Do tell.
Well, it's best if I just show you.
Lead the way. You think
Alright,
you could
I'm gonna
find
bring-
Gregory tonight, by the way, and pass the message on to him? Said he's...
Absolutely. You hear some?
You're not there. You're not there.
And yeah, I'm gonna start leading him towards the young elf that I met. I forget his name.
It was Firo. And you lead him
Firo,
into
yes.
this tent, and he begins to notice like an abundance of his people around. He is his himself elvish as well. I had no idea they had so many of us in here.
It's not great.
Better than some I've seen, I suppose.
This fellow I'm taking you to, his name is Pharaoh. He basically wants to plan a revolution around here. I don't know if that's exactly what we're in for, but I'm sure he'd be willing to keep you safe. For the night.
An impromptu, improvised entirely. Yeah, sure. That checks out.
Okay.
It is what it is. Your friend has his plans, and we're all just along for the ride at this point. Really.
It's Mr. Maker's world, and we're just living
We're
in
just
it.
living in it.
Mhm.
So you kind of like lead the way, and you find all the elven individuals as well. They're all standing outside the tents, looking at this massive explosion. Some of them talking amongst each other. Some are kind of like nudging each other a little bit, and you see Pharaoh kind of like just reassuring people. He's like, "Relax, this is not the time." And you walk Linax over to him.
Hey, Pharaoh. I remember I told you about that outside help? That
Yes,
Linax on the back. It's my friend.
he's not outside,
He just was, like, about 10 minutes ago.
and he came inside.
Yeah?
He just puts his hand like into his fucking. He just takes a minute to just process how many of you are just willfully coming into the Imperium slave camp.
I know how it seems. Just trust me that...
I don't think you know how it seems. That's not my problem. Have you brought us anything? Linax like, well, yes, I have. Enough weapons to arm you and all of your little friends here. Yeah. We, tomorrow night, we plan on making a similar distraction, except at the wall. Giving you all a chance to escape. Well, I guess I'm included in that now as well, aren't I? Pharaoh's like, kind of just tilts his head, and he's
Welcome to the club, buddy.
Nakama.
great. Pharaoh just kind of looks at him and nods. He's taking him in. Stanislav, can you do me a favor?
Of course.
Spread the word, but do it quietly.
Mm-hmm.
I need to talk to your friend. And he's like gestures to Linax to follow him inside his tent. Linax just nods at you.
He's as trustworthy as you are.
Well, I don't know how far that goes then. I am a troublemaker after all. He gives you a pat on the shoulder and enters the tent as he's leaving. Tomorrow night, be ready. They laugh. He closes the thing behind him and leave them to their conversation. How are you all planning to spend the rest of your evening? Starting with Stanny, because you're the one with the information tonight.
Yeah, so he wants me to kind of spread word, but do it quietly. So I'm going to kind of look at those people who are kind of whispering quietly to each other specifically, and just kind of go and approach them, nod to them, and just say, tomorrow night, be ready. That's
nod.
Just going to leave it at that.
Okay. I'm going to say just roll me a persuasion check. Just straight up. Not at a disadvantage because I'm giving you advantage.
18? No, that's perception.
No. Just add
persuasion is also +4, same thing.
Okay, so 18. This is basically the reason you're getting advantage as opposed to disadvantage. Is canceling out for you is because Mr. Maker set off this explosion. Like, these people are now primed and ready to go. And in fact, they would probably start the revolution tonight if it weren't for you coming by and be like, no. Tomorrow's the day for Mogans! Tomorrow is the day.
And I would have tried to, and I'm sure this will be one of the things we do in our YouTube thing, is get to know some of the people and kind of start forming alliances, bonds of sorts. Yeah,
you're familiar with some of these individuals. The elves tend to be focused mostly around the ruins of Undara, or of Adroch, the capital of the Undara people. Not so much because they're particularly magically talented, all of them. Some of them do have a basic grasp of magic. It's equal parts. One, they understand the language more than an average human would, being that they share an ancestry. And it's almost like a power trip thing, where they're quite literally forcing the elves to work in the ruins of essentially what was once their civilization, right? Like, all of the elves on this continent came from here originally. They're all descended from that group.
You know what's worse than a stupid racist? A smart racist. That's what we are working with here.
Yes, indeed.
A smart collection of racists.
Little. You gather with the Imperium, there's a deep-seated dislike of elves as much as there is a dislike of the Imperium within the elven conclaves. They both hate each other because historically they have been at war longer than any other countries or dominions on this continent. They're the oldest too. Except for the dwarves. And the dwarves just kind of fucking keep to themselves. So you go around bit by bit. Eventually you do encounter Mantuka. Mantuka, what are you doing this evening? How are you spending your free time after this explosion happens? Are you watching what's going on there? Are you doing anything else? What is your plans? Did you even wake up for it?
I went outside, but there's nothing. We're still walled in.
As far as you can tell, you're completely walled in. You just see this plume of smoke coming from the garrison house. All of the eyes are focused that direction.
Well, go back to fucking barracks and fucking do some cow yoga for a bit, and then go to bed. Fuck, just another day of fucking salt mines.
Yep, fair enough. Eventually...
And as I found you, I would have caught you up on the plan and stuff. And Gregory.
Great.
All right, because
Stanny finds...
I'm gonna murder things. As soon as things start getting haywire, there's at least one civilian going down just for bloodlust.
Oh,
from
no!
either my horn or my hooves.
No, that's fair. I mean, you got
collateral damage.
You got the Watcher gang in here. That's a thing.
What's
up, Witch Doctor? How's it going?
I just lost. I need to win.
Yep, that's fair. You did just get your ass handed to you.
I hype you up a bit.
You also find Gregory, who's not far, also just taking in the events of the evening, and pass on the message to him as well. You guys do anything?
Hugging a square-shaped rock, just kind of wandering around, just mumbling to myself.
Hey, buddy, snap out of it. I give you a little kind of slap on the face.
Hi.
That's your second fucking slap since you've been enslaved.
No, more so snap out
Not
of it,
even
buddy.
close to his second one. He's been getting his ass beat. You all have, dude. You've all been getting your ass beat.
Yeah.
Linex is here. Mr. Maker caused that explosion, and tomorrow night we're getting the fuck out of here. You ready, okay?
There's just like a beat of silence, and then I just drop the rock and just kind of slap myself twice.
Good.
Huh,
What are you
Fucking
doing, little fuck?
finally.
And Linex has all our stuff
Kitty.
too. You're
Kitty.
getting your box. You're getting your box back. By
You
the way.
literally
I'm-
just... You opened my door to come in here and then just leave. What the fuck?
Hey, you. Fuck you. Bye.
He literally gave me the hang.
But also come here. But fuck you. But
But
mostly
fuck
come
you.
here. But mostly
come
fuck
here.
you.
But mostly fuck you. Okay.
Pet me. How dare you touch me?
Crystalia.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, just
Ah,
trust me. Everything's gonna be all right.
okay. Wait, my toy box.
Linex has it.
Oh.
He's over in the tents.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay. Tomorrow. I just like I go to do like a handshake and then a fist bump and then I'm just like I just hug.
Pick you
Love
up, give you a big hug,
It's
sit
finally
you down,
fucking finally.
try and get a good sleep.
Hey,
tonight.
Gregory looks like shit.
Yep.
Like you have been watching
Sunken eyes.
Gregory just worse. Like he's like been getting progressively
corroded.
Yeah, he's basically corroding. Like he does not look like a 16-year-old, 15-year-old boy anymore.
I think during the time here, I think Gregory's birthday passed.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
He is 16 now, and he
He's-
had to have his birthday in the goddamn quarry.
We're gonna roleplay that. That's
I
gonna
want
happen.
Clink.
That's gonna happen. But yeah, Gregory does that naive, boyish look of innocence and surprise is gone and mostly replaced with just a sunken look of defeat. And when you mention Lineax and his toy box being closed, you see Gregory perk up a little bit.
Ah, we got this. We got this. We got this. We've got this.
You got this, buddy.
Yes. Whew. Okay.
Now
I
come on,
look-
let's go get food.
I walk over. I look down at that rock, and I just kind of kick it, and then I walk over with you.
That boy.
You all grab
Woo!
yourself. It's not feeding time. It's like midnight, but you all kind of like.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Yeah, no, this was like late in the evening. There's no food. You go to the food tent and it's just closed. But you kind of like spend some time together and kind of hype each other up. Prepare mentally.
Promising
Ilsevere,
cruel, baby Gregory.
Ilsevere is like
Ah!
Ilsevere's looking worse for wear. He's even worse off. Like you looking at him, doesn't look like he's gonna be much use, if any, in a fight. The fight is gone from your brother there. It's the willpower to stand, walk, carry what he's supposed to carry, and come back and sleep. You gather, based on your looking at him, and this is how well you know your brother, the way he's moving and carrying himself. He would be more likely to get himself killed in a fight than he would be to succeed in a fight. But he's still preparing to fight. He's doing what he can. It's not looking good. You figure if he fights, he will
Yeah, I'm gonna go over
likely
to him for a minute.
struggle.
I'm gonna go over to him for a minute.
Yes, brother.
We're everything's happening tomorrow night. It'll be pretty much the same signal as that, but it's gonna be the main wall.
Mm-hmm.
And I know something about you that you're gonna want to stay and help people get out, but you can't do that. You're in no shape to help people, and I want you to make me a promise that you're going to get yourself out before you get anybody else out. You're not strong enough right now. This place is taking it out of you.
I will not leave your side.
That's not what I want you to do.
I don't care.
You can't help me if we fight, and I'm not gonna let you die here.
I will not run while other people stay behind to fight for me. If it is my time to go, it is my time to go. That is my fate.
At least tell me that you're not going to take a fight that you don't think you can win.
Promise. Roll me an insight check.
With disadvantage?
Yep.
Two
You believe him.
threes?
You believe him.
Jesus Christ.
Just right off the bat, you
Oh no!
you feel like your brother is at least taking your words to heart as best as you can ascertain. I will do what I can. But if
Alright.
you fall behind, I will not leave you to die.
I don't think there will be a lot of worry about that. I'm one of the better off people in here right now.
I know.
Trying to get a good rest tonight.
You too. You're going to need it. He
Let him be.
heads back to his tent. The way he's walking away, he's hunched over and limping a bit, and then you see him like straighten his posture. There's no spring in his step. He's still barely moving, but he's steeling himself a little bit. You see him kind of like flex his shoulder muscles a little, kind of flex some muscles he hasn't flexed in a while, loosening himself up.
Kind of shake my head. I know what that means.
You're familiar with it. He's got a routine.
Yeah, I'm gonna pack it in.
Sorry, I forgot to add that to this. So, you all tuck in for an evening's rest, and you wake the following morning. Head to your regular job assignments. Gregory, to the great excavation of Adroch. You continue going about your daily routine. Is there anything special or anything different anyone would like to do during their work day before we delve into the events of this evening? Mantuka.
I would like to do as little as possible to conserve my energy for killing things.
Okay, that's doable. I will say either a performance or deception check for that. Because you're trying to act like you're doing work. Like you are physically trying to do what I did my entire career at Little Caesars, which is mime doing fuck all.
Oh, they're both fucking zeros. Performance it is at disadvantage.
You historically have decent luck with performance. Like, just saying.
7?
Okay, you...
The rolls tonight.
Okay, you take 1 point of slashing damage as you're beginning to slack and go about your work, slowly, barely moving as a whip is just whoosh, cracked right across your back.
I will accept it.
Get to work, scum!
Allow it.
And they just continue. Like, now there are several pairs of eyes just on you. They're watching you. If I roll above a 75, something's gonna happen. 99. Okay. So
Jeez.
that is insane.
Yeah.
They
Fuck
are
me, eh?
quite upset with you for trying to slack for the day, so they ride you particularly hard. They are on you all day.
Fuck,
Even
calm
after
down,
people
take
are
your union
eating,
breaks.
taking their breaks, getting a little bit of water in, you are still put to work. You do not get to drink or eat all day. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
I would also, while I'm rolling this Constitution check, I would like to commit their faces to memory.
Yep. Oh, you will remember this guy's face.
Not 20, you mother effing motherfucker.
Okay, see, there we go.
Okay,
There it is.
as they're just like
Johnny.
they're like just pressuring you, pushing you beyond what you think is like they think you're capable of. You inside of yourself find Praise Mogus, a deeper attachment to your deity, to your strength, to everything that gives you power and belief. And you grit your teeth and know that in about 12 hours time, one of those motherfuckers is going to be at the end of your halberd. Or at least if it is within your power to make it so, you will avenge yourself. And you, out of sheer spite, don't even try to take a break the rest of the day. You skip water, you skip food, someone tries to give you water, you just knock it out of their hands, and you go about your day lifting these massive stones with more vigor and gusto than anyone has seen you do, to the point that even the guards themselves are looking at you like, oh, shit. Like,
No counterproductive to what I actually wanted
they are,
to do.
like, the guards that were whipping you and shit are now, like, actively afraid of you. So you turn things around.
Wicked. Beast mode, wicked.
Yeah, Gregory.
Do you lift, bro?
Are you doing anything special today? You're spending again, same thing.
Tuka went sicko mode.
You're in the temple with your other researchers, all loosely guarded, like they do rounds and check on you. There's not really any way out of here except for up, right? So they mostly just guard the exits. However, you just spending your day kind of amongst all the scrolls and books and stuff that you usually are. Are you doing anything different today? Or anything out of the norm?
I would probably I would go ham too. I want to try. This is my last chance to be in this room.
And you are surrounded by like many documents.
I would want to try. I don't think I'd try to look for anything. I would just try my best to like skim everything. Mimetic remembering devices, just trying to bring it all with me.
Okay. You're committing it to the Mind Palace, basically.
Yeah,
which
has been a shaky at best the last couple weeks, but hey.
I'm gonna say, go ahead and roll me. What would be a good skill for that? Probably just straight intelligence, honestly, because you're. I'll say if you want to do history as well, because it's tied to intelligence, would be loosely history. You're researching history. Or investigation, if you prefer. Your choice. Investigation, history, or straight intelligence.
Investigation better.
Doesn't matter. It's a 5.
No, same.
So you spend some time like going through what you can and trying to ascertain what, and you're just not. It's not clicking today.
Yeah,
you are not drawing the connection. You do see one thing that stands out to you.
Oh.
And it's the only thing. And it's like, it's a name you have now seen a lot over the course of the last 2 weeks since you've been here. Second. You don't know where it is. There's no details given to you on what this location is, or even represents, or really any of it. You just get the reference to a place called the Temple of Shifting Sands.
Temple of Shifting Sands.
That's it. You get no information on it. You just have seen that name pop up enough times in the last 2 weeks that you take note of it. You put it in the Twitch chat. Cool, got it. Is that how we remember things now? There's not proper note taking.
I'll be going back over this video.
Our chat.
Jesus Christ.
I think about that, but then I mostly spend the rest of the day just thinking about hanging out with my toy box friends again.
Okay.
I miss them.
Mantuka. You did already. Stanislav. Anything you're doing special for your last day? Any way you're preparing yourself?
I was amazing.
You were, Mantuka. You sent it. You sent it.
Oh, I feel great. Lead ups to this moment are part of what Stanislav lives for.
Yep.
I'm gonna be quietly spreading dissent.
Okay.
Amongst the ranks of the people.
Yo, doesn't this place suck?
Just
Isn't this place total ass, dude?
Just whispers.
You know, this place,
letting people know.
Not a fan.
Hints.
Not a fan.
Okay,
No.
easy enough. This is while you're working, so we're trying to hide it from the guards. So roll me a stealth. This is a double check. Roll me a stealth check and a persuasion check.
Okay. I'm gonna use
Persuasion
my
is-
advantage for the stealth check
was gonna
to
say-
cancel out the disadvantage.
Persuasion is already at advantage as well, so just 2 straight rolls. Yeah, you saved that all session, so good.
15
Good.
for stealth.
You managed to keep it, as far as you can tell, out of earshot of the guards and out of.
And this is like as I'm pickaxing
Yeah,
things, I'm like
yeah.
quietly talking.
Yeah.
And then a persuasion.
Also straight. Okay.
11.
You're not sure. The ones you talked to the previous night seemed a little more enthused. A lot of these folks are maybe just workers who don't have a lot of combat experience. And were only brought here because possibly they had mining experience. But you do manage to convince a number of people that the time is probably now. And you feel like you've rallied a few people to your cause. Mr. Maker.
Yeah.
How are you preparing for the evening? The plan is you blow in the wall at midnight-ish. Was the loose, basically when you see the flare. So how are you preparing, and what are you doing to set up? You are currently in the form of Terry, watching from the wall.
So the back side of that wall, the reason we chose this guard post is because it is largely unseen, right? It's like up against up against the side of a cliff, but it's got like
there's essentially like, here's the back wall. There's a road that goes around it that the guards patrol like once every hour, more or less, in a cycle, and then mountains and cliffs.
Perfect. So what I want to do first is get really into the Terry character. You know,
Yep.
I got my bottle of wine.
You studied him. You spent like a week observing Terry and his family, and by family I say his mom because he lives in her basement.
And you know, first off, ignore a few angry texts from her about certain fucking dumb messes I've left around.
Yeah, like every morning when you leave the house, she's like, Terry, you didn't pick up your dishes last night. I had to do it.
Shut up, Mom! God!
You've been so cranky lately.
I'm going to work!
Well, maybe you could bring home a little more money for a change.
I'm trying! Will you just get off my fucking case? Jesus, no wonder I drink.
They're so cranky when they grow up. They're so cranky. And like she just you hear her doing your dishes from the night before as you leave the house.
I just grab a bottle of wine off the fucking.
Oh yeah, we established Terry's an alcoholic too.
Oh, he's an alcoholic. And I wander up to my guard post, kind of stumbling by, doing, you know, my usual.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
And I go sit on the wall, and at this point I would know the guard routines pretty well.
Yep.
So
You've got it down for sure.
I want to wait until. Well, first off, I want to kind of like peer into where I'm looking, kind of not too suspiciously. I know nobody is really over where I'm at, but like just kind of having a healthy eye on it while looking
there's
like
like
I'm
one.
not.
Yeah, basically, there's one other guard you swap with. There's enough people to man, like if they need to, they bring people up to man the ballista that's on all of these walls. But for the most part, it's just like one guy at top, one guy at bottom, and then you rotate when another two come out. But
right,
you figured that out.
I want to kind of like just peer in, see if I can see any tiefling of the description that I'm looking for.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Okie doke. Can it be investigation, perchance?
Mm.
Because I'm actively looking for someone.
Sure. I view investigation more as physically like touching and feeling your way around things, but as you are like literally taking notes and details of every single person, I'll allow it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Doesn't take you long. She, as described to you, whereas you've seen a number of tieflings who are fairly lithe and dexterous looking, she very much like the individual who you made your deal with is quite hefty, little girthier. She's definitely appears to be like of the same make as Mantuka in terms of body size. She's hefty tiefling, big girl. And she fucking
very
carries
attractive, bigger lady.
Yeah, no, and like Mantuka, you would have noticed her several times working in the quarry. She has worked next to you most of the time you've been here. We can get
up her back.
We can get into that.
My plan was to try to carry her out.
A tiefling bigger than me?
I'm not doing that.
Not
I mean,
more muscular
try.
than you, just bigger. There's power there, but it's more like
thicker with two C's.
You know how Thor is
I'm
Thor is
aroused.
Yeah, you know how Thor is depicted in the new like God of War Ragnarok. It's kind of like that body
Thor.
type, but more a little more feminine. Like she's still attractive. She's just big.
Cut to
Got a
Mr.
mom
Maker
dad
just
bod.
riding on her back, just Mr. Maker.
Yeah.
very.
Yeah. This is probably the biggest tiefling y'all have ever seen in terms
That's
of in terms of sheer size. You do locate her pretty damn fast. It looks like she spends a lot of her time in conversation with the elves around camp. You see her frequently visiting the southwest side where all the tents are set up.
So southeast is close to where I'm at, right?
Yeah, you're basically dead south. Southeast section is here with all the tents, and then split up into like basically sides of compass.
What's the tiefling language?
Infernal.
Okay, I would like, when I see her get close, I would like to write a note in Infernal, because I know Infernal.
I know you do.
I would like to write a note to her that I am gonna try to fucking get you out tomorrow. Your number one priority is getting out safely. Fucking protect yourself no matter fucking what. I don't give a fuck. And then I'm gonna just kind of like toss it down to her when she gets close.
Roll me just a fucking. I would just roll a throw attack. So just
Is
dexterity.
there enough natural light for you to roll this? Write this, or should you use some
Dan!
gaslight?
Oh,
Wait, what?
Gaslighting's not real.
Oh, no.
You're just crazy.
It is just. It's
Everyone goes to
not real.
hellscorp.square.site. Buy your merch.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I got you, baby. I got you.
That was
Nice
good,
transition.
Chris.
So yeah,
That was
just
great.
roll me a straight dexterity. Like you're throwing
It's
stuff. So
straight
this is
dex.
just straight dex. It's not even a ranged attack. Pretty good.
Okay.
You throw it, and it
Ow.
lands probably a few feet away from her, but she, like, notices this clump, basically crumpled piece of paper get thrown from the walls above. She looks up, looks down, picks it up.
If you need more descriptive what the note says, I can do
No,
that.
she reads it, walks over to a nearby campfire, and tosses it in it.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Burn after reading. That makes sense.
Also, on the bottom, I would like to I don't remember the dude's name. I know it because he fucking introduced himself. The
Her
dude
brother?
Yeah, the guy who
Oh,
hired
the guy
me.
here, Barza.
Barza. Yeah, I would like to put regards from Barza on the bottom.
See a smile creep across her face if you specify that, and she tosses it in the fire. Looks
Okay.
up, sees you kind of clocking her, nods, and goes about her day.
Cool.
This is probably like during the evening after everyone's come home, by the way. So after everyone arrives back from their day's work, the sun is just beginning to settle over the horizon. You have a chance to eat and drink a bit before all of the events kick off. What's up?
Right after the last guard rotation,
Yeah.
I would like to go ahead and set up the bombs.
Yeah, so you basically rotate out at sundown is when your shift ends. And you just make your way down to the bottom as the other guard comes up. There is one individual stationed at the bottom of the ladder as well.
Okay.
So you kind of pass by him as you're like coming down.
It's kind of like on a corner, right? Because it's a guard post.
Basically, it's like a flat wall, and in the center of the wall there is a large square-sided tower. It's about 5 feet by 10 feet by 5 feet. So like
Okay.
if he's standing at the base, you could go around the other side and not be seen in theory if you were quiet and sneaky about it.
I would like to.
And it's
try to-
it's like a solid tower, so we can't see through it. So if you just literally go to the other side sneakily enough. So as you come down, he's like, "Hey Terry, you all done?
It's my shift, man.
You've been drinking again, haven't you?
No, man, I told you I fucking quit, bro.
Oh, get
I
get
have
home.
very clearly.
Yeah.
I have a empty bottle of wine in my head, like
Look,
holding it behind my
I
back.
can smell it on you, man. Get home, get some fucking sleep. And I swear to God, if I catch you drinking on the job again, I'll report you myself."
All right, man. All right. I'm
Bloody
gonna try
idiot.
to, get over there.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a stealth check, just to like, as you kind of like limp away, and just lurch on behind the thing.
That's Flash of Genius, baby.
15, okay, hold up.
That's 15, not 14. Ah, shit.
So as you kind of make your way and you kind of like pretending to drunkenly stumble, you like stumble behind the tower, and he's like, "Terry, you all right, man?"
Yeah. Look, man, I'm gonna level with you. I did drink a little bit.
I know you. Everyone knows you did, Terry.
Yeah, I fucking.
It's no secret.
Man, I'm sorry. And then
Can- I'm gonna come help you. And he comes around and he like picks you up and he, like lifts you. Get
Thanks,
the fuck
man.
home, oi, you! He yells off at someone who's just like basically leaving their post a little further down the wall, and they turn. What? You make sure he gets home. And he's like, "Is it Terry again?" He's like, "Yeah, it's Terry." All right. And he just walks over, and you see like a darker skinned gentleman, kind of like, you can tell he's like definitely spent most of his life in the desert, if not all of it. Like very, very sun-kissed skin. Traditional Imperium armor at this point. Come on, Terry. You're gonna get us
Thanks,
all in
man.
trouble one of these days, man. He's basically holding you, like he's supporting you as you're drunkenly trying to pretend to stumble along with him. He continues. He's just leading you now. So if you look on the map, you don't have the. Go to the PDF I sent you of the Adroch map. You're basically being led around the southeastern side along that road that runs along the outside of the prison.
Cool.
You're gonna get us all in trouble. We're all gonna have to do extra duties again because we didn't keep you sober. Go home, and if you show up drunk again, it's gonna be bad, Terry. It's gonna be bad.
All right, man. I won't show up drunk. Promise.
You're an embarrassment, Terry. Get the fuck home. And he just like he
Promise!
basically plops you on your mother or Terry's mother's doorstep.
Perfect. Yeah.
Knocks,
okay.
knocks on the door. Your son's drunk again.
No, I'm not.
Again.
Don't
If you lose
tell
your
him. Oh,
if you lose your
man, you
job,
got me in so
I
much
swear to
shit.
God, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Yes, Mom.
She opens the door and just starts whacking you with like a balled up piece of parchment.
Fuck.
Get your ass inside, young man.
You're killing your mother.
Don't you know you're killing me? Every time you're killing me.
Your father was alive to see this.
She literally brings you into your bed. And you go into Terry's room and it's still like got pieces of his childhood.
Yeah,
stuck around.
He's never upgraded.
He's never, no. And he's like, his bed is like a twin. It's literally just like a...
It's a race car bed.
It's amazing. It's a chariot bed, okay? It's chariot bed.
Stuffed horses at the front.
Yeah, literally, like, stuffed horses at the front. It's canon now. Terry has a chariot bed.
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna
Oh, God.
I'm gonna take what time is it roughly?
Yeah, it's just after sundown. The plan was to get things like you'll see the flare when it goes off, basically.
Right.
He was gonna wait until about midnight.
Okay, so I'm gonna wait until a couple of hours and then like kind of come out, pretend to be sobered up a little bit.
You see your mother like just passed out in her armchair with a bottle of wine next to her as well. It seems like
runs in the family.
Terry, no, it seems like Terry's alcoholism has kind of led to her taking it up as a coping mechanism a bit.
Oh, yeah.
The old Uno reverse.
Yep.
I'm gonna very, very gently, as to not wake her up. I'm so sorry about him. Just quietly under my breath, and then walk out.
He's dead now. It's no problem.
Yeah, of course not. But...
I figured that was the case.
Oh, Terry's dead.
Oh, he's dead.
They fucking murdered. They murdered Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, wait. You didn't. You sent him into the mountains and told him never.
No, that was a different guy.
That was a different guy. My bad.
Yeah,
that was a different guy you tortured and intimidated.
I did torture a man and sent him into the fucking wilderness.
He's probably dead too.
Probably.
I enchanted one of his like buckles and told him it would explode if he fucking stopped moving forward.
Quit getting your torturees mixed
You
up.
guys need to watch the YouTube when it comes out. I still
it's-
need to edit it.
it's
There's
gonna be-
literally 6 hours of footage, 2.5 hours of it is D&D. We just fucked around the whole time. We
Yeah,
got so wasted too. It was great.
We did.
Anyway,
very
my
rough.
So as you leave Terry's mother's house for hopefully the last time, you she's like, just get a little drool trickling out. You go, I'm so sorry. Just leave. Close the door behind you. You look around. The streets are abandoned. Everyone's either asleep or at their post at this point. What are you doing?
I'm gonna go back to where I'm waiting for the flare by Terry's guard post.
Yep.
And then set up the bombs.
Roll me a stealth check.
Okay. Please, for fuck's
Please
sake.
fail it again. Please fail it again. Okay.
God damn, that's Flash of Genius, baby. That's fucking 19.
So 19. Okay.
I refuse, bro.
1 second. I need to actually pull up a character sheet.
God damn, don't.
I'm so excited. I think he sees you again. Oh, I hope so. We'll see. Oh,
Such a good stealth modifier. Quit rolling like shit.
I know. I don't fucking know what's happening. Everybody's rolling like shit today.
That's true.
Yeah, our rolls are kind of funny. Every time we have to roll high, we roll low, and vice versa.
Yeah.
With his modifier, that's a 20.
Okay. That sucks.
So as you make your way back around, you begin like setting up and making a bit of noise and stuff, and he hears something. He's like, "What the? What's going on over there?" And you hear him begin to shuffle and make his way. He's like, "Hello."
Does he see me behind the wall?
He doesn't see you yet, but he's heard you, and he's like coming around. So basically, he's on this side. There's 10 feet, and you're on this side in the corner. So he's like here now.
I would like to hide behind the wall, like around the exact corner that he's about to round. Because I assume the noise he heard was a little farther down.
No, it was like as you were starting to set up the explosives, basically.
That's what I was saying. But I set it up like kind of midway, like between the corner and the next.
Yeah, so you're gonna just try to hide in the corner as best you can.
I'm gonna try to hide in the fucking corner, and then, when he crosses the corner, I'll tell you what I'll do.
Yeah, so he begins to come around, and what's going on over there? You hear the sound of something being pulled from a scabbard.
Mm-hmm. I immediately, as is my favorite fucking thing to do.
You see him step out. Yeah, you see him step out, and then he like goes to look around towards the section of the wall where you made the noise. You basically like, as you were getting the explosives ready, you start like kind of clinking around some of your stuff. You run over and hide in the corner. Quickly roll me a stealth check.
Okay.
just to see if you get the drop on him or if he sees you.
God damn. Also Flash of Genius. I'm not doing this. 18? For fuck's sake. Just roll below that. Roll below an 18.
Get sick,
I
son.
fucking hate this, dude.
No!
I'm so happy. He comes around the corner and, like, instead of looking where you were making noise, he hears the sound of you pulling out the fucking grappling hook / garrote wire you've now invented. Yeah. And he turns his look and he sees Terry because you never changed face back, standing there with a garrote wire waiting for him, like, Terry.
I immediately cast invisibility.
Okay.
There we go.
As you just vanish in front of him, he's like quickly like steps forward with his fucking scimitar that he has drawn, and looks like he's about to stab at you. So he's gonna do that at disadvantage. So 21, 19.
That fucking will not hit. Oh shit.
Sees the garrote wire, and then you disappear as he lunges and stabs at you. As he does, you see that scimitar like effectively about to hit you, and just before it does, it doesn't break your concentration. So you cast a spell, so your invisibility does drop, unfortunately. So as you cast your shield, the blade stops dead, like barely a centimeter from your stomach, or whatever Americans might use for that measurement, a quarter of an inch. There we go. We'll call it that. We'll call it that.
I do know what centimeters are, but
I'm surprised. I'm surprised. You continue to surprise me every single day.
I work with measurements. What are you talking about?
I didn't see you measure much yesterday. Anyway, and as the blade almost hits you, manifests the shield around you, and it stops dead in its tracks. He's like, Harry can't do that. he's quite dumbfounded by the events that have just. You have a chance to do something. What are you doing?
Okay.
He just took his turn against you. He gets fucking. Oh, he can make another attack technically. Who's gonna do that? Sure. He rolls a 9. He's pretty shook by everything, so he stabs and he just like tries to slash, and your shield just holds it up. Like you barely even need to flinch. You just stand there basically holding the garrote wire.
Yeah. I will immediately get behind him with my fucking double-bladed scimitar. I'll fucking yoink it out.
You did manage to plant most of the bombs too, at least. Like, as you were doing it.
I'll like disconnect half of it, so it's just one.
Yep.
And fucking like get behind him, fucking hold it up to his neck. As he scream, and I'll cut your fucking throat.
Roll me an intimidation check.
There's the high roller.
Okay, so it's just gonna be a straight wisdom save to beat the fear. He does not. So as you just manage to sidestep around him, hold the fucking double-bladed weapon up to his neck. Just single-bladed right now. Single-bladed. Yeah. And he's just like, all right, Terry. He drops the weapon. Don't do anything crazy. I know you're not Terry, but I don't know who you are, so I'm calling you Terry. He drops the scimitar and he's like, puts his hands up.
Listen here, not Terry.
Listen, not Terry. I'm just doing a job. I'm just here. Yeah, okay. Easy enough. Roll me you're gonna hit. You're gonna hit. Roll me an attack though. Just
okay.
Yes, you are we're dipping into Pathfinder rules and you're catching them flat-footed. The babe does. Okay, yeah, so it's not even a damage. Like, again, like, the way I do things, if you sneak up on someone or get a dagger to someone's throat and cut it, unless it's like a big level, it's fine. So as he's like, all right, not Terry, I'm sorry, you just slowly.
So what I want to do is, if I can.
Yeah. No, just describe your kill, buddy.
As soon as I, like, have this one up to his throat, I fucking put my hand around his mouth, and then I fucking just fucking cut a giant gash into his fucking throat and drag his body behind the wall where the explosives are.
Yeah, he immediately starts bleeding out on the floor, like, at that point, and you just drag his body over. He's a pretty low-level dude, like, he's just a guard. He's not a fucking warrior. Like, he's an archer. You fucked him up pretty good. So you just drag his body. He's still alive, but he's now actively, like, bleeding out from the massive neck wound. He kind of looks up at you like, trying to breathe through it. He's just gonna slowly die in the sand.
I'll put a blade through his head.
Okay.
I'll finish him off.
Quickly, merciful. I like it. I respect it. Nice of you, not Terry.
Temple.
Yep, he's done. Just finished. Yep.
I will wipe the blood off my hands and get back to working the bombs.
Yeah. In a matter of minutes, you have them wired. You get your fuse, you run into them. You know what you're doing. Is it light fuse? How are you lighting these bad boys? How'd you set it up?
So I've actually got a big long fuse that is set up to a it's set up to my fucking crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to fucking cast green flame blade on it to cast it.
Cool. So as this is all happening inside of the city, the group of you, Stanislav, Ilsevere, Antuka, Gregory,
I also want to get back.
Linax, Pharaoh. You even see
I will
Orlyle.
be referred to as Rip Tuka.
There you go, Rip Tuka. You even see Orlyle, the elderly elf, beginning to understand that whether he wants it to or not, this is happening. From what you understand of his history, based on what you would have learned in the time you were here in those 2 weeks, he's been around for better part of 200 years here. He was captured during the War of the Bloodleaf, and he has seen 2 failed rebellions. He's watched his friends and family be fucking slaughtered, and he's one of the few people surviving from that time. So he's always kind of pushed against it. But he quickly comes to the realization that, like, this is going to happen with or without him, and he would rather take up arms and do what he can to aid in the endeavor than, just sit back and watch while all his, like, people potentially die again. So they begin readying themselves. A lot of the elves are kind of, like, very slowly throughout the evening trickling into Fiero's camp, and then coming out with weapons somewhat awkwardly stashed under their clothes on what they can. It seems like Linax has come to a bit of an agreement with them, and they're already beginning to arm these individuals as the sun goes down. You see Linax kind of standing with this very closely, like almost as he seems to be guarding this gargantuan tiefling woman. Like, she's just super muscular, very large woman, and he just is attached behind her. Like, he's not leaving her side for anything. And you see people just beginning to hide weapons and stash weapons, and there's almost an anxious waiting feeling as you're waiting for Linax to decide that the time has come and to set his signal that he's been set to do. And as you're all kind of sitting about the fire, you look at each other. Linax comes out of the tent now in his full regalia, full hushroot armor, chainmail glistening, freshly polished.
Oh shit!
He's completely thrown off the shield, but you see where his metal arm, where he once had a long sleeve that covered his whole body, is now been severed at the shoulder, very like Winter Soldier. And you even see now there's a few nicks in the arm, very small. It looks like he's just been straight up using it as a shield, more or less. Being that it's a magical item, it's nearly indestructible, so yeah.
I mean, it's a Mr. Maker brand. It's
gonna
stand.
That's good. I like that a lot. And he's ready.
You look good there, Linax.
I know, thank you. I always look good.
What about the rest of us?
You still look like shit. Your armor's inside waiting for you.
All right.
And you all file in, and the 3 of you, see items you were worried you might not ever see again. Mantuki, you see your glaive and your halberd. What little armor you wear, if any. Danny, you see your hushroot armor that you have personally had enchanted. You see your weapons, all of them. All of their javelins. Stanislav, your javelins, everything. Gregory, you see a familiar wooden mask and toy box, along with some brightly colored robes that you recognize as your own.
Oh, I rush over to the box. I put my hand in. I pull out. It's just a bunch of like little toys and trinkets and gems and stuff that all vaguely resemble the little creatures you've seen. Mm-hmm. I'll get you guys. I'll get you soon. I just looked. I'm like knocking at the collar. Well, how do I get this thing off?
Unfortunately.
Oh, we've it just a simple set of lockpicks is all you need, and some skill.
Oh,
I've dealt with these before.
Good, because we're gonna.
You got very lucky before, but yeah.
Stanislav doesn't know that.
It was easy.
Torin made it look like cake. Actually, I made it look like cake, if I remember right.
That was Torin. Oh, yeah. What's up, Mantuka?
I don't have like any anti-magic bracelets or anything on me.
Nope.
Sweet. Mantuka comes in, roots through the bag, pulls out this small silver tiara
Fanny pack.
and places it
In the fanny pack.
onto his head as the tiara of blasting sits between his two horns.
Jazz tiara.
Nice.
Anything you had to
Feel better
attune
now.
to, you're all still attuned to. You never unattuned. It just wasn't in your possession that whole time, but still actively your items. No one else attuned to them while you were gone. And you exit the tent, now all in your full battle regalia, as you find Linax and Pharaoh now standing in front of basically a small army of very well armed elves. And you see a number of other prisoners taking up arms. There's thousands of people in it. You see other groups doing so, but there are more elves in this little army of yours than anything else. You gather they're probably the most battle trained, as a lot of them were old enough to have been captured during the War of the Bloodleaf, and they have a pretty intensive personal vendetta going on here. So you see bloodlust in a lot of their eyes. Like, you gather. Let's everyone roll me an insight check. That's inside, excluding Mr. Maker.
We're still exhausted, right?
Yep. All of your points of exhaustion carry over.
Damn.
Natural 1.
Stanislav.
My God, we are.
Mantuka! Two
Oh, there
I
it
got
is.
19 Hey, it's a
I'm-
tiara!
I'm not surprised, because if someone recognizes bloodlust, it is Mantuka. Mantuka, you quickly come to the realization that a number of these elves are not here to fight to escape. They are here to fight to kill as many people who have subjugated them as humanly possible, and do what they can to make sure everyone else has a chance to get out. These are people gearing up for a last stand and vengeance. No more than that. Like, the escape is not on a lot of their minds at this point. There's anger there, like a generational anger. Several hundred years of fury that has just been tucked away. You even, like, some of them look almost a little barbarian-like at this point. Like, you gather that probably wasn't who they were now, but at this point, they're basically animalistic and just ready for the slaughter. A lot of the more makeshift
You're
weapons are given, yeah, there you go, are given to, like, the common villagers. You see some people wielding clubs, pitchforks, basically anything they could find within the walls to make this a possibility for anyone who didn't get weapons and armor. And you have a fairly sizable force, as Pharaoh stands up and says, "For too long, we have suffered at the hands of the Imperium. For too long, our people have been enslaved and beaten. Today, we rise. With the help of our new friends here," and he gestures to all of you now standing there. "They will lead us, and I will lead you. And together, maybe some of us will see freedom on the morrow. For those of you who don't, know that you will not die in vain. And be sure to take as many of those bastards with you as you can when you go." And he just raises his fucking, like, hand to the sky. Everyone screams. This cacophony. Mr. Maker, you barely even need a signal at this point as you hear battle cries just erupting from within, and then all of a sudden you just see this one very, like, tiny bead, almost like a little bead go up into the sky and then explode into the giant thumbs up image of Mr. Maker in a fireworks. Mr. Maker, you flash the green flame blade in your hand, lighting the fuse as you do. You see it weave along the sand, burning a fucking black streak in the hard-packed desert earth. You see it weave ever so slowly, this bright green flame, towards the pack of explosives and the body of the individual you just fucking massacred. And then the fuse disappears for a moment. You're like, you lean forward expectantly, and then the entire wall just splits with flame and smoke and debris as pieces of the wall are sent flying into the air in all directions. You see some of them landing within the village. Stanny, Gregory, and Mantuka, you see this massive eruption of flame as bits of flaming debris land all over the interior and exterior of this prison camp. Some of the houses with thatch roofs are immediately engulfed in flame, along with a number of the tents. The wall itself is burning, and as you look just to the basically southeast of where you all are now congregated, a breach has been blown in the wall, some 30 feet wide. As the explosion comes to an end, smoke is just rising from this place in the wall. You again hear as hundreds of thousands of people, or thousands of people, all unite and begin storming in unison towards the wall. You see some of the watchers, the guards, already making their way towards them, trying to stand in a line and stop this rebellion from happening. They raise their weapons to strike, and as they do, a swarm of elves just runs forward, long swords in hand, and just begins carving into these individuals. And that is where we're going to end things for this evening.
We don't have to. We can keep
Yes, we do.
going.
Nope. No, I want to prep like a really cool battle for this. There's going to be a lot of shit going on. Chris, you're muted.
We can have Linax break our collars off for us.
That'll happen next session too.
Yeah.
We kind of need them off if we want to have a chance.
Oh.
You
Usually
gather.
you.
I'm going to be honest with you. It's probably... Y'all are going to have some difficulty with that. I gotta be honest, because those are not meant to get off easy, but we'll see what we do with that.
I think there was a nat 20 rolled last time.
There's a nat 20 on top of them being heavily damaged already.
Oh.
Because you guys had gone through the fucking
Makes sense,
ringer
yeah.
to get to that point. The block was rusted, all of that shit. So, that'll be where we end things for tonight. I want to say thank you to every single person who showed up tonight. Thank you guys for showing up for the game and being a part of the party. Having fun with us as always. Mr. Make, you got anything cool and exciting coming down the pipes you want to tell anyone about?
Yeah, I got some shit.
Now is the time.
I got some shit. So I know you can't probably hear me as well. I don't know where that fucking thing went.
You're good.
Give me 1 second. Come back to me.
Okay.
I love that space so much. Every time I look at it, I see something new.
Okay, we'll give a shout out to House Cooking.
Something new and terrifying.
All right, if y'all haven't already, yeah, we got fire. We got fire up in here. Go show some love to Hell's Corp. He's a very good buddy of mine. We're very lucky to have him on the stream. He's the only other streamer we got in the crew at the time being. Bro, that's so dangerous.
Does he live in this fucking place that he's like setting on fire right now? Like,
it's a shed. It's a shed outside. He's all safe.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. Are you having fun?
I love that, man.
Are we having fun?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Anyways, I got a whole bunch of shit. I'm doing one stream a week now. Starting probably not this week, but probably next week.
Okay.
Doing projects and shit instead of usual gameplay and garbage that I usually do. I'm going to be utilizing the space to the full extent of my ability.
Okay.
And that's pretty significant.
What's first on the list? What's the first project? Do you have anything in mind for that? Or just kind of do it as you go?
Well, the first one I want to do, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it right off because it requires a lot of materials that are expensive. Is I'm going to be making a forge and a foundry so I can begin my descent into becoming a real artificer.
I'm so stoked and so
Mr.
ready.
Maker is a real life insert.
So stoked and ready for that. So we're gonna go ahead and raid out. We're gonna raid out on someone very, very special. Usually I don't raid out on people playing Fortnite, but this is a good friend of mine. Y'all might have seen her hanging around. It's our good friend Rusty Renegade. It's other Rusty. We're trying to assemble 5, thus making Rustodia, and thereby ascending to world domination. So be sure to go show some love in there for us and, let her know we sent you. If you got the emotes, fucking drop them. If you don't got the emotes, it's no big deal. In the meantime, I will be back tomorrow doing a little Jade Empire. If I manage to beat that before stream ends, I'll probably dive into a little more GoldenEye just for shits and giggles, just to kill some time. Who the fuck knows? Chris is up. Maybe we'll stream something together. I don't know.
Your meetup can be the Rusty Roundup.
There you go, the Rusty Roundup. We love it. So, we're going to raid out on Rusty Renegade. Be sure to show her some love from us. In the meantime, I have been Rusty. These have been my friends. We'll see you next week for some fucking rebellion action.
We have been your friends?
You have been. You're not anymore.
Oh, no,
Go
what
fuck
did we
yourselves.
do?
Bye, motherfuckers. I love you all.
You guys got that.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.